Hey, what's going on? I feel rusty. Like it's been a while, so I legit feel rusty. It's been a while. But how's everyone doing? Was just eating some ice cream. Whew. Yeah, so I should have see this. I'm rusty. Normally I would have a water set up ready to wash down and clear my throat before throwing down on some streaming, but I'm rusty. I did not have it ready. But we're gonna get through this. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Um, I've had them before. I haven't bought them in a while. To be honest, I don't really buy ice cream and stuff like that. But I'm the kind of person I don't buy junk food. But my wife will buy junk food, then I'll end up eating some. You know what I'm saying? When I'm bored. So if left to my own devices, I'd probably have a Halo top. But my wife bought some ice cream. It was from Trader Joe's. Anyway, waiting for Vita and I think Kenny to come through, but in the meantime, let's just chop it up. Vito wanted to talk about Lee Daniels, and he has something coming out for Spook, who sat by the door. But I'm in a weird place personally where I'm kind of like, and I want to ask y'all about this because I've been thinking about this, right? Like, there's a part of me that thinks it's important to talk about things that suck, right? Because it's like it's making the world worse in a certain way. But then on another level, I'm like, should I be spending more time trying to think about good things that are out there? And if there's not a lot of good things that are out there, should I be trying to talk prescriptively about the good stuff that I want to be out there? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think it's undeniable that things are getting just worse, especially with like creative stuff and political stuff. And I think there is something valuable to be done by pointing it out. But then if it becomes repetitive, like if something is hitting a new unprecedented level of terrible, I think maybe it's worth bringing stuff like that up. But if it's just the umpteenth version of the same bullshit, is that a constructive thing to talk about? And I don't know. I think about it. I'm not sure. I don't know. But the reason I'm saying this is because I was kind of wondering if like Lee Daniels, to a certain degree, kind of feels like an easy target. I don't know. I think about the spook who sat by the door, and it's gonna suck. I mean, we know it's gonna suck, but um, so is it worth talking about, or should I wait till it comes out? Is there? I mean, the chances of it pleasantly surprising me, I think, are next to none. So I don't really think that's an option. But I always think, should I go and look for something positive out there to talk about that's new? If not such a thing exists, should I try to talk about what I'd like to see out there? Should I spend time focusing on old forgotten gems that, are good? That if I think nothing new and good is out there? And I'm just spitballing. I don't know what the answer is. I think there are limits to looking for the silver lining and just bagging on the terrible stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You can always email us at champagnesharks@gmail.com. You always like constructive feedback, not just feedback to give feedback, but yeah, constructive feedback. Always appreciate that. So, in the meantime, before we get started, since we're waiting for people to show up, let me check to see if anybody gave oh, hold on. The message did not go through. Let me see. Did it go through this time? Oh yeah, here we go. Awesome. Hey, what's going on, man? I was just talking about like you know what we should be talking about in general, and I know Vita wanted to give the do the topic about what do you call it? Lee Daniels and what is Spooker sat by the door, and a part of me was thinking like we know it's gonna suck. As I was thinking like what at what point was pointing out like what's terrible, like being such an easy target. You know what I'm saying? Like at what
Well, you
point?
say we knew he sucked a long time ago. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to think, is it even worth like giving like airtime to? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like part of me would be like it'd be more fun, I think, to like point out things we like. But then when you look on the horizon, there's not a lot of good looking stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, the only thing I could think of, I know Godfather of Harlem came back on,
oh,
but
I never tried that show. Is it good?
it's pretty good with Forrest Whitaker and I forgot the brother's name that plays Malcolm. He looks dead on like
Yeah,
Malcolm.
yeah, yeah. The guy from Selma.
Yeah, the guy from Selma. Yeah. He looks dead on Malcolm X,
Yeah,
man.
yeah he does. And you know what? I think he does a better job of channeling the voice
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
than
Yeah.
Denzel did. Even though
Oh yeah.
Denzel had more charisma. Denzel just kills it in the charisma department. But that Malcolm X voice, that was just Denzel. Like
Yeah,
because
that wasn't. Yeah, and you know what I hate? I hate
yeah.
when you would see Spike Lee doing interviews and stuff about, man, you could just tell he channeled Malcolm. He even started sounding like him. You close your eyes, you would think it was him. No, we didn't. We did not think it was him. Like, stop.
Yeah, he did a great job. I'm not dissing what he did, but I just hate when people say he sounded just like. 'Cause I think happens. I think people watch that movie so much that when they think back to Malcolm X and say that Denzel, I think it's a circular thing. When they say Denzel sounds like Malcolm, it's because they're imagining Denzel. It's almost like a circular thing,
Yeah.
because that
Yep.
was their first exposure to Malcolm X was the movie. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's a funny, but I love the movie. When I say that, people think I'm dissing Denzel in the movie, but I'm not. I like the performance, but that part where he says that brother's starving, that's a straight like Denzel. Like that's just
that was an ad lib from Denzel. That's all that was.
yeah. That was a total. I
We've
think
seen
so.
Denzel do that in other movies. Like he has this movie that nobody ever watches called Out of Time. Have you seen that one?
Oh, it sounds familiar. I don't remember it. Was
With
was he time traveling in that one or no?
No, he was like a local sheriff in Miami.
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
And he got caught. He was cheating. And Dean Cain, Superman. Dean Cain plays, I guess, the villain in the movie, and he's cheating. He's not married. What's the chick's name? Eva Mendes. So that's
Oh,
like his ex-wife.
I remember the commercial for that. Yeah. Not that you say Eva Mendes, because wasn't that the one where people trying to spread rumors that he was? Oh no, that was one with Sanaa Lathan that they're trying to spread rumors that he was cheating.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in the movie, he's married to Eva Mendes, but they getting a divorce. And what it is he's messing with this chick who's married to Dean Cain, and there's like some insurance money, like millions of dollars, and he like signed off on some insurance money, like a conflict of interest type of thing. And it's
Huh.
it's actually a decent movie. It's just that I don't think anybody cared about it or paid attention to it.
It sounds like it's trying to be like a film noir. Like, is there like murder in it and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. The woman
Oh,
fakes her death and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like a modern day double indemnity. Like usually when they talk about like insurance policies and murder,
Yeah.
those are usually attributed to like that movie Double
Sanaa Lathan is in
Indemnity.
that movie. Sanaa
Oh
Lathan
yeah.
plays Dean Cain's wife in the
Okay,
movie.
so it was that movie. Yeah, when that movie came out, there was some like rumors that he was cheating with Sanaa Lathan, but I
Oh, in
don't
real
think.
life?
Yeah, but I don't think was any proven stuff. I think it was one of those type of gossip type message board shits,
Oh
like with
yeah.
no proof. Like it was one of those type of things.
You know what's funny about Denzel is that in the movies he's playing himself. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
he always plays himself.
If this
Like
motherfucker
with
lived,
minimal.
if he lived next door to you, you'd be
Yeah,
like, oh, that's just Denzel. Because he seemed like a regular dude. Like, and he
yeah.
seems like a dude that really does like whatever how he feels about his wife is real. Like, it's not no.
Yeah.
Hollywood shit. You know what I mean? And his kids are, his son is John David Washington. He was in Black Klansman. I think he was in something else recently.
Um, who's that from Black Clans? Oh, you talking about his son? Yeah, Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. And that movie, if you've ever seen this movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, that's just like a Gen Z millennial Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Like it's like the
Right.
exact same movie. It was,
Right.
but made for social media. That's like the worst part because Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is like one of those timeless things. But the Malcolm and Marie movie, did you see it?
No, I never seen it.
Oh, they're like reviewing, like they're talking about film reviews that the guy got on like social media and stuff like that because the guy is basing it on some bad reviews. The guy who created it is basing it on some bad reviews that he got.
Oh.
And it's one of those things, like it's one of those made for Twitter type movies. It's a little like it'll be dated like in 2 years to me.
Oh yeah, that's not good. And that's the thing that I worry about with movies that use so much influence from social media. It won't age well.
Yeah, yeah. And this thing, he based it on a real bad review he got in in the internet. Like he worked it into the thing. I thought that was very. Oh, hey, what's going on, Sweet James? What's going on?
Oh, James in the house. Oh, what's
yeah,
up, fam?
yeah. What's going on? How you feeling?
Where the hell is this nigga at? What are you doing?
You talking about Jay? Or you talking about Vita?
Vita.
Oh, you talking about her background? Yeah.
Yeah. What is going on here?
I think she's in that We Work, right?
Yep.
Right.
I'm at the WeWork. You guys aren't used to seeing me on stream at the WeWork. I haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah. What Pensieve Abdor said was true. He says, I think spending a lot of time reacting to culture, media we don't like is very bad for our mentals. The worst thing about Twitter. But what happens when most of the media out there is media you don't like? I think that becomes the problem. Like you gotta.
Man, it's like a 70-30 thing. There's so much that you don't like.
Yeah.
And you really, I think it's gonna become a thing to like have bad shows. Like that's a thing now. You know what I mean? Like a show that's so bad, like it makes people talk about how bad it is, and then they'll extend it to get a new season because that's how bad it is. So it's like all those spinoff shows.
Yeah.
Like my mom watches Power, but all the spinoff shows, and she's like, "These are whack. Like
they're so bad.
They're just bad." You know what I mean? But they're not gonna stop. There's gonna be another spinoff.
Yo, you want to know what's crazy, man? They have 4 spinoffs, and if it wasn't for COVID, the plan was all year round is going to be a Power show because once one ends, the other spinoff picks up. So it was this year-round Power universe. But you know, it's funny. I started watching Power Book 2, The Thing of Ghosts, and the thing was like a hot garbage. It was awful. But I stopped. But then I started following Choke No Jokes channel.
I remember you told us about that.
Yeah, and I started binge watching Choke No Joke, and that dude is mad funny. And one of the things he does, he reviews Power Book 2 to just trash it. And he's actually a pretty smart reviewer. He finds plot holes that you didn't even think of, and he's like actually pretty clever. He makes funny ass jokes. So then I started watching the show that I wasn't enjoying just to enjoy his reviews trashing it. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like I'm watching this bad show, but the reviews were so good. So I would just end up I think that's gonna become a real cottage industry. Just like hate watching shit just to like watch funny videos on YouTube about it. But yeah, his videos are crazy funny. And I ended up finishing the season just so I could laugh at his videos.
Yeah, this is exactly right. Right, Power is a prime example of appealing to fandom being the end game as opposed to focusing on creating a good show. And you could say that about a lot of stuff. You could say it about music. We were talking about that the other day about music, how it's, I think I was talking to you guys, or I might have been talking to my brother, and we were talking about Lil Nas X, and I was like, bro, his social media engagement is not equaling record sales.
Oh no.
So people are not interested in his music, they're interested in him. So he's an influencer. He's not an artist.
He's not an artist at all. He's
an influencer.
and nobody plays his music. Nobody hums it.
No,
Nobody plays his music
I
at
have a
all.
17-year-old that lives in my house and she does not listen to that shit. They're not saying that she's the all-seeing eye of everything good music, but most kids will have something in common that they all listen to. Lil Nas X ain't it.
I mean, I think in general, like in every generation of music, there's artists that have that big hit, and then that's it. Like we don't
Yeah,
hear anything
yeah.
else from them. We don't give a fuck about what happened. In fact, there's probably songs that we know we don't even know who made them.
Yeah.
I swear. I
So,
be thinking that too. But then, I don't want to be like a hypocrite because the same thing happened in the 90s. Like it would be, I don't know. Well, in the 80s, Johnny Kemp just got paid Friday night. What the fuck other song did he do? I
Yeah,
have
I
no
don't know if he
idea.
even released another one. Yeah,
He never did.
I mean, Club Nouveau,
Yeah, Club
right?
Nouveau.
And you
Yeah,
know what I mean,
yep,
remake, and that was nice. It was a great song. And
yep.
then what's after that? But the thing
no,
is,
no, no. They had like 3 or 4 songs. Let me think. They had "Why You Treat Me So Bad,"
oh,
Yeah, why
that's
you
true.
treat
"Rumors,"
me
That's
so
true.
bad?
That's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
yeah.
That's a good
"Friend,"
point. I forgot about
"Friends."
That
that
was like
one.
a B-side. Yeah,
But the thing is that the difference between now and then, though, is that all you need is the one hit.
yeah,
You can now be an influencer. You can now be
yeah.
somebody, some type of brand ambassador. You
Yeah,
can,
you don't have to be. You don't have to be an artist.
right? Because you have a following now. It doesn't even matter how many other hits you're gonna have or you have, or it doesn't. None of that fucking matters anymore. You have enough to get you, um, to keep you paid. Like Lil Nas X, if he plays his cards right, he should never be broke.
Yeah, I don't think this is fair because I don't think he's saying that Gen X or millennials don't know good music. I think he's
My mom
talking
said
about.
Mary J. Blige on Power sucks too. She just texted me.
Oh really? Oh really?
Yeah, she's watching the show right now.
Yeah, I mean it's not even her fault. It's just a badly written show. But yeah, I don't think you were saying it. You said that you're doing that Gen X thing about y'all don't know anything about good music. But what he's saying is that Lil Nas X is not a musician. He's not saying millennials don't know good music. He's
Oh,
saying that he's not a musician. There's good millennial music out there. You
oh,
know, it's
Oh,
absolutely.
there's a lot
Yeah,
of good
yeah.
influence
yeah.
music out there. I actually been kind of, trying to listen to more of the R&B stuff that's out because the hip hop stuff I kind of have an idea what's out, but I'm not really a person who follows R&B like that. Since I've been following R&B, it's been interesting. I think there's a lot of really good artists out who make really dope songs. Like I
Yeah,
didn't,
there's a whole lot of good millennial music.
yeah.
There's a whole lot
So
of good millennial music.
Yeah, HER is pretty good. I just discovered some of
her, I
hers.
love
Hers,
her.
yeah. You know what happened to me? I found this channel. I went to visit my mom, and it was Vivo, right? VEVO, and they have
Yeah,
like
on
old
YouTube.
school, yeah, old school MTV. Like they'll have like the R&B channel, the hip hop, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of good music out there. It's just I guess people on Twitter just have horrible taste.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
people on Twitter have like horrible taste. I was listening to all this R&B, and I was like, wow, this is really good. There's a guy, he sounds just like an old school Prince. I forgot his name. I put it in my Shazam because I was Shazamming a lot of the names, but the guy was really, really good. I'll find his name actually while we're talking. Hold on. But yeah, I was surprised how much good stuff there, and rap too. There was a lot of good
You don't want
stuff.
to.
But
You don't want to base the amount of good music or lack thereof based on Twitter because people on Twitter will like a song based on something that they can relate to and make a meme out of,
yeah,
and
exactly.
now has nothing to do with music. So the whole Future where they post a meme with Future and they're saying something about the holidays or some shit, and then it'll be like something take care. I'm good, love, take care. Like it's not about music. It's not about music. So that's why certain artists. I mean, and it's a bad thing because the artists that are making the music aren't getting. They're getting the interaction because people know who they are. They're not buying the music.
They're
So
memes. They're
yeah,
basically memes.
exactly. It's almost like ringtone rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like ringtones.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Like, there's a lot of people whose songs I didn't know, but I know their TikToks. Like, for example, that there's 2 Megan Thee Stallion songs that were just basically 10-second clips off of TikTok. I kept hearing over and over. One was
Yeah.
Savage. I forgot like the other one, but and then this guy's name is Tone Stith, Stith, and the song is Devotion. Like that was a really good song. I heard one called by a woman called Navia Jolie,
Mm-hmm.
and that song was called "Screwed Up," and that one was pretty good. And there was a couple of other ones I was watching on Vivo. Those two I got the names of, but there were actually like more. A
Yeah.
lot of good stuff, but there were like either names. There was some HER stuff. Suddenly, I'm getting all you guys' texts. I don't know why they all just came through now.
I don't know.
That's
It's weird.
crazy. So I texted you a while ago.
Oh, Terrence
Yeah,
Trent
yeah,
D'Arby. He was kind of like Prince.
yeah.
So
He was. Mhm. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna agree with the Terrence Trent D'Arby thing. That's all.
Oh, I was gonna say also though, the thing about trying to gauge things on social media is that we forget sometimes just because someone's having a conversation about an artist doesn't mean that they listen to the artist, right?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
even if where people are having conversations about Saweetie, right? Whether whatever the drama is or whatever the statement was she made on the podcast, we're not talking about her music.
Right.
We
You're talking
probably
about something that don't have nothing to do with her music.
nothing to do with her music. So and she's a beautiful girl. So that we see her pictures all over the timeline, right? So we can't mistake that popularity for being a successful artist.
And that's why, even though T and well, I think Mario did agree. No, Mario didn't agree with me. I ain't gonna give him that. When I say Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper right now, is because Kendrick Lamar is not on social media,
At all.
but he's gonna go platinum.
But the thing, and this is the thing that I think people forget about also, because the thing about music, hip hop specifically, but music in general, is that artists like Kendrick, they have longevity because they actually put out good music.
Right.
They put out quality projects. Even if you're not a fan of Kendrick Lamar, you cannot deny he puts out a quality project. He tells
Right.
stories. He has different types of producers come in. Is very well thought out. So the actual art of it is what people, I think, can also are
They want
that's
the
why
music.
exactly you actually want Kendrick's music. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about where he shops. I don't give a fuck about who he's dating or who he's married now. And we didn't even know when he got married.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I feel like people forget that the artist, like real music and artists who really put work in, still can be successful, and some really are. And those people tend to have longevity.
Well, like T, you were saying it last night when we were texting, is that like, you think about Drake's music, after it put the album out, it'll buzz for a minute, but nobody goes back and listens to his old music.
Yeah. I don't think people really listen to the only album of Drake's I really feel like people bring up like a classic that they really listen to is "Take Care." Like his fans
Yeah.
always go back to "Take Care," but all of his other albums, I feel like people don't really play them. Like that album. What's that Tootsie Dance or whatever?
Oh, Tootsie
Yeah.
Slide.
Yeah. No one's gonna be replaying that.
So,
That's just. Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
remember, so this is the thing about Drake, though, right? So the thing about that's probably the last Drake project I liked was Take Care. And I was one of those, and I hate to, I'm gonna be one of those corny people. I was literally one of the first people on Drake ever, right? Nobody knew who the fuck he was when I was first like playing him on the radio and listening to him myself and sharing. Like nobody knew who the fuck he was at all. I was a fan back when he was trash. Because I can still see the potential. Like he's very clearly talented, right? Now when he started doing like mostly singing, that's when I was kind of off the Drake train. It was just like I can't do all this horrible ass, fake ass singing and all this whining and all that shit. But Take Care was a good album. The thing that carries Drake right now is that he constantly knows how to put out the pop hit.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to
He's
put
a
out
pop artist.
quality albums. He's a microwave artist, right? They get the writers of the day, the producers of the day, and then they go in the studio, create something, and then he comes out with something that's going to be popular and on the charts.
Right.
But nobody, but that's a business strategy, right? And that's very specific to his audience because he's a pop rapper. He's not a rapper, right? That's not about his music, and I'm not being a gatekeeper in that regard. At least not right now. I can be, but not right now. But specifically, that's his demo is the pop audience. Period. He has to churn out hits. That is now his job.
Yeah, because he would if he's trying to be a rapper and compete in rapping with MCing and rapping, it's not going to work out because it's not going to seem genuine because that's not his lane. And this is the thing though, it's okay to not be that lane. I mean, everybody has a lane. Odd Future, well, not Odd Future, but what's that boy name? From Odd Future?
Oh, Tyler, the Creator?
Tyler the Creator. He has a lane. Drake has a lane. They're not in the same lane. You know what I mean? And for what they do is not what Kendrick does. It's not what Schoolboy does. It's not what Rick Ross does. You know what I mean? But there comes a point in time. But the problem is that we don't put them in their categories. We want to say, oh, well, this person is better than that person because they sold this many records. Well, who are they selling the records to? There's a demographic for Drake to sell his records to. He's not selling his records to the same people Rick Ross is selling his to.
That's exactly it.
You know what I mean? Griselda is not selling her records to Drake's audience. Like it doesn't work like that.
And I think people also forget that there's still a subculture that exists, right?
Oh yeah.
And that genre still makes money.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of the beautiful things about online, right? You have a lot of artists that can make money without having to be a super successful hit in the mainstream, right?
Yeah, like Freddie Gibbs,
Schoolboy Q, right? Yeah. I mean, there's multiple we can think of, right? Nipsey before he got signed, right? There's like this class of artists that might not ever go pop and might not be big, but I bet you they living real good right now off of their work.
yeah, and the thing about it is, as an artist, you have to
music, not influencer shit.
No, not influencer stuff. Yeah. No.
Because same with the SoundCloud stuff. For a while, I thought, okay, all rap is just this SoundCloud, sipping on lean stuff. But when I was watching the Vivo rap thing, there were like all types of different types of rap. Some people were pretty lyrical. Some people were doing different things, but there was a lot of good stuff out there. I also was surprised how good. That's why I put this on the screen. They played some Tiana Taylor music, and that was pretty good. I had never actually heard her music. I just knew her as.
I can't get into her voice.
What's that?
I can't get into her voice at all.
You don't like her voice?
Not at all. I can't. I tried.
What is it about her voice you don't like?
How it sounds.
I know. But is it like nasal? Is it deep? Is it whiny?
It's real brass, but like not clean, like not good. It doesn't sound good to me. Like maybe she's saying rock and roll songs in a rock and roll style, but nobody listens to that shit no more. So I don't know, but it's just the way she sings it. She doesn't sound like an R&B singer to me. She just sounds like. So I think honestly, no. Some people just they have the perfect voice for the genre that they sing. But they just have the perfect voice. Like people who are jazzy just like the perfect voice for the genre.
Yeah, like Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is a damn good rapper, but she really does sound good doing classical music.
Right, exactly.
I didn't know she did classical music.
Just classical jazz.
Oh, classical jazz. Oh,
interesting. So if she started doing R&B songs, she probably wouldn't sound as good because her voice just fits for that sort of style, right? Yeah. Or people just have like that real husky sound, right? Yeah. Tina Turner has a rock and roll voice, right?
Yeah.
So those are like some people have like I think Tiana Taylor has a certain sound in her voice, but that's not the genre that she sings.
It's not for R&B. She probably should be rapping.
Talk about that with like Minnie Riperton, right?
Yeah.
They had Minnie Riperton singing R&B, but she wasn't really an R&B soulful soul singer. That really wasn't her style. And so, but they struggled actually marketing her. It wasn't until that one big hit that she had that people really started paying her any attention at all. Because before she was Rotary Club. That's what we're called? Rotary
Connection.
Rotary Connection. There we go. Rotary Club. But at that time, because I only know this because I watched like a bazillion music documentaries.
Did they do an unsung of Minnie Riperton or something?
Yeah, they did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did. I obsessively watch unsung as well. But what's interesting though is that some artists just have the voice for their genre. I think Tina Taylor is like in the wrong genre. To be honest with you, like vocally, she just or they need to tailor the genre that she's in to fit more her voice. Because right now, I don't feel soulful R&B from her. I feel like she should be screaming some, nice rock style type of R&B songs, maybe. Like,
her energy kind of has that too, like her look and her energy.
Exactly. Even the video she did for Kanye when she was dancing, and she choreographed Beyonce's "Ring the Alarm," and that's the one where Beyonce is like going crazy. So that's the energy. Remember, she used to be a skater, right? Yeah. So I just feel like her actual energy is different than what I think they're trying to market her as.
I mean, you could love hip hop. That don't mean you need to be doing it.
Right, or being doing it in that way.
They're doing it in that way, yeah. Because remember, at one point in time, there was a lane for that type of hip hop where there was Public Enemy and Anthrax, that existed. Even Ice Cube was doing it on that Life and Death album, whatever it's
Remember the
called.
early 2000s, and
Yeah,
then
that was
all
a
those
Limp
rock,
Bizkit. That was a real thing.
Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin
Yeah,
Park, which was one of my favorites, Sum 41, like all these artists were kind of combining hip hop and rock. And I think that sort of sound would be perfect for Tiana.
yeah,
Not putting on the early 2000s sound. That's just dated as fuck now. But you know what I mean. But I just feel like they if she does R&B, hip hop, they need to incorporate it to where it sounds like it fits more of her style. I think they're
yeah,
trying to force her to be something she's not, and it doesn't sound
yeah.
good.
I remember somebody said that about that girl Pink, that she really didn't want to do R&B. She wanted to do the music she does now, but the only way she could get on is by doing the R&B stuff.
That's literally what happened.
Mm.
And so I watched her documentary as well. Right? It was interesting. That's literally what happened. She was already kind of doing a rock style. They had her and her little group that she was in doing R&B, and she just sounded okay. So she sounded
Yeah,
good. But I think what's that dude's name? L.A. Reid really wanted to push this white girl R&B singer.
right,
Because he's looking for his Mariah Carey, so to speak, right?
right, right,
Shock everybody by not being typical, like Tina Marie or whatever, right? So
right.
I think that's what he was going for. The problem was that wasn't who she was, and look at where Pink thrived. She didn't thrive
Yeah,
in that shit. In fact, I don't even listen to that other shit. I like Pink. I listen to a lot of her hits, not any of those, because I don't hear that shit. But where she actually sounds like she's doing her style, she sounds awesome.
no, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
There was a guy called Lucky Day that was pretty good.
I heard Lucky Day.
That I was listening to. He was pretty good. There was a girl named Coy Leray, I think it was, who was all right. I mean, the music was a little bit like too young for me. Like it wasn't like meant for me, but I could see the quality in it. Like some things you listen to and you're like, okay, like I've aged out of that music, but
Oh
I can
yeah,
see
oh
that.
yeah,
But I can
oh
see that.
yeah.
I can see the quality in it. Like it's not from me, but not because it's not good. But
Bad. It's not something that you will be listening to on a daily basis because the content is not for you. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of stuff that they talk about in their content that I'm like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I don't
Especially their relationship takes. Like they're so 20-year-oldish. Like
yeah, totally. But it was good stuff. It was good music, though.
Although I will say if she writes all of her own songs, most of her songs, I'd be like, damn, how you like 22? How the fuck do you even feel this type of shit?
Yeah. There was some British stuff like Ella Mai and I forgot the other one. I don't really like her. She's kind of bland. She's not bad, but she's kind of like bland to me. A lot of the British people were a little bit bland. There was another one.
That's how all of them are. Leona Lewis was like that for me too. Like,
yeah, they're just kind of bland. There was another one. What was her name? The one that everyone likes because she's a little bit thick and light skinned, but Georgia Smith. Her music was okay, but it was kind of bland. The British people are always a little bit bland to me with their R&B, but it wasn't terrible either. But there was definitely better stuff.
I actually started Googling certain people because people kept tweeting about them, and Georgia Smith was one of them. And she's definitely one of those artists that I think has good songs, and I can only take a little bit. Like I can't sit there listening to Georgia Smith songs. I don't connect.
The songs weren't bad, but it was just a little bit boring after a while. I can't explain it.
Well, that's the other thing. I think that's sort of a genre now. That boring shit. Everything's slow and soft.
On purpose.
Yeah, and there's always like a video of them in a room with no furniture in it and a single mic. You know what I'm talking about? Those British dudes love that. Let me see if I can find it. I think it might be a series or something. But British people are always in a room, in an empty room with a mic, and singing some slow, depressing stuff.
That's some fucking Tracy Chapman shit.
Yo, in a weird way, I feel like Drake's had a bigger impression on the British stuff because they be singing that kind of whiny type of R&B that Drake does. I feel like it is more influential in the UK than here. Like they really like that I'm all in my feelings, sad boy, sad girl type music.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely can see that. That's a whole genre. That was what that whole XXX Tentacion was all about.
Yeah. And I hate to call everybody a rapper now based on if they have tattoos and have a look. Like when I finally heard XXX Tentacion, I'm like, he's not rapping. Why are you calling him a rapper? Like,
he's not. He wasn't rapping at all.
Yeah, same with Post Malone. They call him a rapper because he has tattoos and
They did that that with Chris Brown. They did that with Usher.
Yeah, they call everybody's a
Yeah.
rapper. Basically, it's like here's a black, especially if you're a black person that doesn't like sang. They'll definitely call you a rapper. Like if you're not doing runs, yeah, they'll call you. There's a video on right now, Saweetie and Doja Cat, and there's so much showing their ass in this video. I have it on mute, but it's just kind of funny. Like it just seems like I don't
It's
know.
so try hard nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Like,
very try hard.
it's like it's clear someone's sitting in a room saying this is the formula, and let me punch
Absolutely.
this in.
Absolutely.
It's so
Absolutely.
contrived. So it's just, and it's like I can't. Which is interesting. Again, talking about longevity in artists, like certain artists we know are going to be able to perform the rest of their lives, and others, because if Second Sweetie don't look that great, it's over for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I give. It's
What
not
else
just. It's
does she offer other than
the
she's pretty?
the bad thing about it is like you can tell that there's certain artists that while they might be selling this bullshit, they really do have skills. Like we know that Meg Thee Stallion can really rap.
Right.
Like that's not even a question. And depending on where she takes control of her career is how long she's going to be here. Because this Twitter, social media rap game ain't going to be around for too much longer. You know what I'm saying? There's going to come a point in time. It is not because we're not going to be listening to it. It's because the labels ain't going to want to invest in that shit no more.
Right.
They're going to want to go a different way. You know what I'm saying? So when they go this way, you're either going to have to go independent, which nobody ever really wants to do, or you're done. So that means you're going to be on reality TV or in a movie or something. Be on OnlyFans. You're going to be doing something. So it's like I saw an interview with Nori and I think it was the Locks. And they was asking, like, would you rather be independent or would you rather be on a label? The Locks was like, we'd rather be independent. I think Jadakiss would rather be on the label. But like Nori was like low key whining about why he wants to be on a label. And it's like, he wants the label to do all the work and he doesn't mind going along with whatever it is that they're telling you to do. And it's like,
this was the Nori. You said this was on Nori's podcast?
Yeah, this was on Drink
I heard this. I think I did hear this because the more you start talking about it, I heard this entire conversation. I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
I'll tell you the big problem with Nori, man, is that he came in at the peak when they were just giving out those deals. And when you start at a certain level and it's almost a bad thing because you have no idea what normal is. Like he just came in at a time. There was a time when like New York hip hop was hidden. They were just playing in all the clubs. Like Nori's album with the Neptunes, that thing was in every single.
Like back in them days, you could play the hardcore shit in the club.
Yeah, you could play the hardcore shit in the club. You'd be going platinum. You'd be just doing all this stuff. And he just came in at a time that wasn't normal. And I just think, when you have early success early on, you just don't know that's not normal. So yeah, those labels were just, there were no 360 deals.
Right.
Everything was good.
You get a big, huge advance. You get a Hype Williams video. If Hype Williams shoots your video, you get the big advance. It didn't matter. So going independent, that's too much work.
Kept all your touring and merchandise money. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your stuff was being used in soundtracks. MTV was still playing videos, and you'd be appearing on TRL all the time. Yeah,
it was a lot of free marketing. I mean, MTV did a lot of free marketing. BET and MTV did a lot of free marketing for rappers back in those days. So for
there
them,
were no streams. That streaming economy wasn't going on. So he got kind of spoiled.
Physically go buy the album. There wasn't any streaming. You had to actually go and buy it. So at the end of the day, I was listening to this conversation. And I was like, maybe it's just mindset, or maybe, he has the ability to say that he want to do that because he's already got his money. Like he's good, But for the artists today, the way that they manufacture these artists in this warehouse, this hip hop warehouse, what's going to end up happening is as soon as the labels say, okay, we're done with that, and they're going to say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like they did with gangster rap, like they did with conscious rap, what they did with everything else. When they say we're done with that and we're not going to be signing, or it's not that we're done with that, we only want one. So we got one, Cardi B. That's the one.
Real quick, I just want to say thank you to the people who have donated. Shout out to is it Francois? Hopefully I got that right. And he said a lot of Drake stuff has Afrobeat influence, which is most of British rap. He tried Arabic, that didn't last long. And I actually remember that. Funny enough, he said that. I just want to make sure we gave Gio his shout out.
Well, he tries he tries to do patois and Jamaican stuff too, but it doesn't
Oh
work out.
yeah,
So
he
I mean,
tries.
he's gonna ride the lightning. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna ride the lightning to anything. But at the end of the day, like these labels are gonna say there's only one. So there's only gonna be one Cardi B. There's only gonna be one Big Sean. There's only gonna be one. You know what I'm saying? So
I just want to say, to Isaac's point, I
Oh,
don't
oh,
think.
did I remove
Okay,
something you put up?
yeah,
Oh, okay. If you want to
I
put it
know
back
where.
up,
Yeah, I have it. Don't
was it this?
worry. We both did it at the same
Okay, you
time.
know what? I'm not gonna touch it. My hands are.
what's it? I'm not touching anything. You guys need to get it together.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
true.
There we go. There we go.
No, I was gonna say that to Isaac's point, I don't think they're gonna get rid of an adult contemporary genre. I don't think it's
No.
possible, especially with the internet now. There's still a market for stuff. You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
artists that literally all they do is market to the adult contemporary. You know, like Kim or Lettucey or Jill Scott. Like they're not looking for those young folks because there's still money in people like us.
Oh,
And
Peter just froze.
we have more money than those other
That's true.
younger groups.
That
So
Tom Joyner Cruise money is good.
Right. So we're not only streaming, we're actually going to shows. So, so it's a little so I don't think they can ever get rid of the adult contemporary genre because you have artists that still tour till this day and they like my parents' age, you know what I mean? Or like
the Isley brothers still tour.
Right. My parents were raised listening to people that still tour till this day.
Yeah.
So and look, you got people who you always have a circuit. They have a community college circuit where they get money. I'm not even joking. You could have been an artist in the 1950s with a little doo-wop group. They have a community college and college circuit where students are required to go see you for their music history class or the music theory class or whatever, and you still getting paid. You know what I mean? So there's all these. So you can always make money in for your generation. I don't think if you know what you're doing. You know.
I saw an info said, "T, you sound mad wistful about the golden age," but I'm not wistful because I wasn't making that money. I'm just trying to give you an idea of why Nori's like that. Like the Locks were grinding for a while before they got on with Bad Boy, and they were like the Warlocks and all this stuff. And then when they got there, they weren't crazy about it. But I think Nori just came in at such a good time and just kind of hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? So like, what can he? Yeah. So I kind of understand it. It's like it's kind of like when you just get really good success early on, and then you're trying to grind. It's just not gonna work if you're not used to ever having to be like.
It's supposed to be you grind first, then you get the big label deal. Towards back in them days, you didn't have to really grind. I mean, you really just got a deal because you were the unsigned hype in Source magazine.
Yeah, it was just great timing. You had
the right cosign. Labels were literally going to like communities, so they're going to like small hole in the wall spots. Like in LA, they went to Project Blowed, right? And I don't know what the New York spots. I mean, I used to know them. I don't know them now, but there's particular areas all over the country that they would go to seek out who was going to be hot, who's next, who is the community talking about. So
yeah. If you ever hear how like DMX got signed, like they would just sign people and say, "Yo, you got any friends?" And then like they're like, "Yeah, I know 3 or 4 people who could rap," and they would just try to find them. So Leo Cohen went to like DMX apartment, like in I think he might have been in the projects at the time. I'm not sure, but he went to DMX's apartment. According to Leo Cohen, I mean, people lie, so you don't know, but he said like the Locks or some other.
A lot of those stories were lies from back then. But.
Yeah, a lot of them are probably lies, but like the Locks would tell them about everybody they knew, like Eve and all the different Rough Riders. They went to DMX thing, and DMX jaw was supposedly wired shut because the day before he tried to rob somebody and he got rocked in his jaw, and he had to get his jaw wired shut. And he said like DMX like spit 1 or 2 verses for him in his apartment with his jaw wired shut. And he's like, "You got a deal." Like people were just like, "You got a deal, you got a deal." Like it was a crazy time, and I think a lot of people just can't get past like those days are gone. If you came up on that and you had to come now in this I'm gonna stream for pennies thing, I'm gonna grind, like it's just not like doing what Doja Cat does, and you gotta like get like 500 teen tweakers to like leave their phones on all day. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Gen X fans aren't gonna do that. Like Nori's not. Yeah, Nori's not going to understand that. Nori just wants to hand it off to a label PR person, marketing person to do all that stuff for him. Then he just raps and parties.
And this is exactly how artists, rap artists in particular, but a lot of artists in general, were getting taken advantage of. Because the thing about artists, especially people who actually create their art, all they want to do is create art. Most music artists, especially music people, are very much introverted 90% of the time, right? Like they just all they want to do is sit in the studio and make fucking music. They're not trying to do a bunch of other work. All they want to do is create. The other shit's extra. So when you have a label that comes and says, "Look, we'll do all the shit, and we'll hand you a check. We'll hand you a check. You're gonna get in the studio and you're gonna record these songs." Now, mind you, the check that they handed you was like for what, 50,000, 100,000, and they just made 100 million off your shit.
Absolutely.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. Now you gotta be your own marketer. That's why they're like the little Nas X's of the world. They will do all that viral stuff for you on their own.
They don't even have like a PR person that's controlling half that shit. He's literally just doing it himself.
Yep.
That is crazy, right? And you know some shit's not PR. PR people would never let certain shit slide.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things that people be doing. They're like, no, we can't let you do that. You're gonna make the label look bad. Like, exactly. No, it's not a good look. And you see this because, like, for example, the rapper Action Bronson, he was, what did he say?
I can't imagine DMX asking streamers to get a song to
no, stream my shit. Yeah, it's just not. It wouldn't happen.
That ain't happening. But they did when the what's the rapper Action Bronson? Before he signed to Atlantic, his music sounded entirely different. And then he signed to Atlantic, and it was like it really, however more mainstream he could be, it was as good as he could do. But then he left the label, and now it sounds right back to what it was before. So even then, they're like, you got to mind your P's and Q's because they just gave you a bag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, could you have got more money independent? Yeah, because the motherfucker does shows all over Europe, all over America. Yeah. But it's less work.
And for the record, I wanted to respond to Isaac as well. I wasn't talking about 70-year-olds. I was talking about our age group. I was saying that there's still a way for them to keep keep selling music or keep doing their work, because there's still going to be people like us who don't want to listen to Saweetie, right? We don't want to listen to, I don't know who the hot people are, Janae Aiko, right? Like I don't want to hear that shit. I'm waiting for another Jill Scott album. I'll totally buy that with no hesitation, or stream it. You know,
right?
I would go to a Jill Scott concert, and you know, I've seen her twice already, and I'll go again. You know, I'm not trying to go running. I'm not running for the run and go see Saweetie. So what I'm saying is that adult contemporary genre will always exist because there's always going to be that market. Just because something may not be a mainstream market doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a money-making space that will continue to exist. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I want to show y'all something. This guy's not British. I think he's actually Canadian. I think, but
is it Eclair?
Oh no, Chuck Claire. He's thinking of no.
Chuck Claire. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
No, it's that guy Daniel Caesar. He sings and has that British kind of style to him, and it's just like kind of boring. Like I'll give you an example. Like British people love shit like this, where they're always in a room for some reason. And I feel like Georgia Smith has these too. Yeah, like those in the room just looking sad, but. This homeboy's drinking tea. He's got his Cosby sweater on, you know, and that was the only stuff with the new music I didn't like. There were like a handful of dudes like this who just had that sad boy vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and then and there's some women like that too. And he's not British, but that style, like the British people, are always
like drinking coffee and singing at the same time.
Yeah, he's got like a cup of tea or something, and his Cosby sweater. But a lot of them, I don't know why, these British people, they be singing in empty rooms and just looking sad all the time. Like there's no Funkmaster Flex bomb droppings or anything, or it's just contemplative in a room.
So this is the thing. This is actually one of my pet peeves, right? When you have something so contrived and formulaic,
yes,
like just like an empty room, drink tea. Now we're trying to market you as deep and introspective. Right, we're trying to market you as soulful, and you know, and this music that's gonna give people clarity, and you know, whatever it is, and tea, right? I'm surprised he wasn't barefoot. You know, So like, I don't. This is like a pet peeve of mine in general. Like, and they do it in every genre, right? They do it all the time. It's always like, remember back when we were coming up, the neo soul movement. Everybody had a knit hat.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, and some incense, some damn incense burning, and yeah,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I feel the neo soul stuff was an annoying one done for like black. Those are like annoying ones done for like black bougie bohemians, and I feel like this new stuff is more for like white hipsters, but it's the same kind of vibe. They want to seem deeper than that hood
right,
R&B, like, you know.
exactly. But
Damn, I forgot it. Yeah, that is true. They was wearing them damn knit hats all the
see,
time.
even
All
not
the
just knit
time.
hats, they had knit everything, knit ponchos and shit. Remember?
Yeah, they're making everything out of hemp.
Remember they had a Coca-Cola commercial. That's when you knew this shit was a wrap. It
Yep.
was a Coca-Cola commercial with Common and Maya talking about keeping it real. First of all, Maya wasn't even a neo soul artist. Why was she
No,
even
at
dressed
all.
like that?
At all.
It was so
At all. That
ridiculous.
looked a mess.
Yeah, that was
Damn, I
not
forgot
good.
about that.
Remember, and all that was also the era of the hip hop clothing brands popping off, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The 555 Soul. Remember that shit? Like,
Yep.
Oh yeah, I used to
Yep.
go to that store in the Lower East Side all the
of course you
time.
did, T.
We went up to that one, and I was so I was so happy. I had that tie hat. I got the tie hat, and I was like so happy. I ran that thing into the ground. It looked so stupid. It was so stupid looking.
Bruh. Capri pants, sandals, and broken families. Why did I think of Erica Badu? I don't know why. That's exactly how I felt. Like the whole, who was that? Erica Badu, Common, Most Def, and what's that shit called? Black Star,
Ma-
but
Maxwell
Black Star.
was kind of in that.
Maxwell was not kind of. He was.
Yeah,
The Lifetime video is a perfect example. It's like him rolling around in bed with some light skinned chick, looking nitty with knit shit, looking hipsterish.
yeah. Here's another one. They're all like this. Always be sad.
Wait,
Just
is this but is this a particular show that does them all like this? Because this is a colors show.
yeah, colors. Hold on, it's frozen. I'm trying to stop it, but damn, I can't stop this thing.
This is boring as fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just boring as fuck. They're always in a room. This one is colors, but there's a bunch of them. Like for example, there's one in America for the hipsters called Tiny Desk. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
NPR does. Some of them be good, but some of them are just so contrived. Like they're just in that
Super.
room. Yeah, yeah. So there's a couple of them. Then there's one.
That's Janae Aiko's. Hers was so contrived. I'm so like, I know I talk shit about her a lot, but it's because I feel like her get up is just so annoys me so much. And I feel like I want to like her, but she just does that corny shit that's so contrived. Like that girl is not no hip. Let me tell you something. Like notoriously, she was kind of ratchet. Like like so this hipster shit is like weird. This hippie shit she was doing. Like that's not even who she was. But like her tiny desk, she's like got incense or some shit and candles or some dumb shit. Just doing the most.
Somebody in the chat asked what the tie hat was.
Oh, they never seen it before?
Yeah, I guess they didn't know. But I'm gonna show you. Fife had it in the Lashmoo video. It was
He did, yes.
Yeah, and I remember I went to 555 Soul, and that was back when Alphabet City was really grimy. Like it's not gentrified like now. So I had to like step over like some like attics and stuff, and I got
Junkies
there and I
and
got
shit.
yeah, and then I got this stupid hat, and you couldn't tell me this is the hat. Fife shows up with this hat, but he had the matching shirt. I didn't get the matching shirt. And this is a big deal. He shows up in the video, and then he pops up with the hat. Here comes the hat.
Once again with the ill flow. Other MCs that rap, the style is so.
Yeah, I remember those hats.
Yeah.
Ugly ass hat.
They were ugly ass hats, but you couldn't tell me shit.
There's some fly ass hats from the past, but that's some ugly ass hat. Yo, it's so crazy looking at that shit because I've never heard that song before. I know I've heard the name Fushnikins, but I never listened to them or him or whoever it is. That's like old school.
Like a low budget beat nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody told me they saw one of the Fushnikins cutting meat in the supermarket
What?
in the 90s, and then he said, "Yo, you won the Fushnikins," and the guy got mad at him and wouldn't give him
No
the meat.
shit.
But I don't know if it's true because this guy used to lie, so
Oh,
he be telling stories.
I told you guys I was in traffic court with Fredro Starr.
Oh, were?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I know, it's super random. I kept looking at him, I was like, is that Fredro Starr? That's not Fredro Starr.
Yo, I like
He's
this.
short. He's really short.
You boomer don't get our music. Sad slow is good. Yo, if you pay money to say that, I don't care. You can call us boomers. he dropped $2 just to make sure we saw his offense taken.
You know who I miss, who was pretty fly? She hasn't got
Yeah.
this project out since 05. But Amel LaRue, I fucked with her.
Yeah, she was cool. She was cool.
She could sing her ass off. I loved her.
Yeah, she was cool. She still does. She has a loyal following. Like she never had like a lot of
I'm
hits,
one of
but
them.
she does a lot of shows and she gets good crowds.
I've
She
seen
gets
the videos. So yeah, I love her. No, I love Amel LaRue. I think she's like one of the best. Like she's one of those artists to me who makes music that's specifically for like it just fits who she is and that's it. Like she's not trying to do
Yeah.
like extra out shit. She's not even trying to fit anybody's specific genre or anybody's specific label or what, nothing like that. It's just this is who I am and I'm gonna just sing it like this. And it should be done to me. And she has one of the biggest ranges I've ever heard. Right up there with Minnie Riperton. She has a whistle register like none other and can sing in that note, which is crazy.
Yeah. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, yo, question mark, man. You're entitled to like what you like. I don't begrudge anybody. If you like that sad boy stuff, then you knock it out.
So we have
It's not terrible. It's really not terrible. I just don't know why they're always in a room. That's the only part I don't like. Why you gotta be in a room by yourself all the time? That's the part. I don't know.
Not the okay. So Pencil of Door says not the chat fawning over
not the
her.
chat fawning over her.
I think she's massively over-rewarded. Yeah. She got Song of the Year and Best Original Song this year. So this is the thing about that, though. A couple of things. I love her. I think she's great. I think she has great songs. As far as her vocal ability, she doesn't be singing all over the place or nothing, but she can sing. She can make good music. That's all I care about. But being massively over-rewarded because she has like 2 awards, like on top of that, like who cares about awards? Because the thing about she probably got those awards is probably a marketing thing. It has nothing to do with her having earned an award because they have not been able to push her. She's been out for a very fucking long time, and they have not been able to really get her out there. So I think it's similar to Rhapsody getting a Grammy or being nominated for a Grammy. It's very similar to me. It's like it's something you do. Somehow you got, Ninth Wonder got in there, knew who to talk to.
Because he's really connected.
And did what he did.
Ninth Wonder.
So, he's like Ninth who's out there, connected in the, Grammy award space. And I remember that because remember when what's that group? We just talked about Tribe. So remember Tribe didn't get an award for their album. I don't think they were even nominated, were they, for their album, their final album? And Q-Tip made a video saying that he was upset about the fact that. Yeah, remember he said he called out Ninth. He said Ninth was going on. And that was the same year Rhapsody was nominated. And I thought that was really fascinating. I was like, Ninth must have something to do with the Grammys. But in general, just those award shows, don't take that shit with a grain of salt. All that is networking. Whose ass did you kiss? And this is not just music. This is any of those popular award shows. There's nothing to do with any type of skill or talent. It's marketing. Who kissing the right asses.
Well, not only that. I mean, if she's over rewarded, then what the fuck is Vanilla Ice?
Or any of them.
He won a whole bunch of Grammys.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and like you said, who cares about Grammys anyway?
Yeah, no, that shit's real. Like we have to get out of the idea that these things are real. Like they're literally completely made up, contrived bullshit. And anybody who's been in the entertainment industry and knows how that shit works, especially I think television and movies is probably the fucking worst. But if you look at how a lot of these spaces work, it's literally all about who you know, whose asses you're kissing,
Yeah,
who you work,
how many Grammys do Tupac got?
who you work with, who you work for, and are the people that you work with and work for also kissing the right asses, right?
I
Are they
don't even know how
the
many
right
Grammys Snoop
connections?
Dogg got.
Another thing, let's just be real about this too. Even if these were legit awards, right? Like that people sat in a room and voted for, and these people won because of that. Let's just say that was accurate, right? Most of those people are still very much white. How is a white person who hasn't created shit gonna tell you about your music? And all they do is copy your shit and then pass out awards to each other for it. So why do you give a fuck about the Grammys? Fuck them. They don't. White people have not made a single genre of American music that we listen to today. Not a single one. Not one. It's all black music. All of it. Country music too. Right? So they're passing out awards to each other for copying our shit the best. And we mad that we didn't get one. Fuck them.
I haven't even watched the Grammys since way like the 90s. I don't watch it. And like I said, how many Tupac don't have any Grammys? Nas just won one, and that's because of probably Ninth Wonder. You know, like it's not
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like because at the end, I'm telling you like this, that album he put out, that shit didn't deserve no goddamn Grammy. I got the damn album. I listened to it.
A lot of that
Okay,
stuff's political.
Yeah, that shit didn't deserve no damn Grammy, especially over Freddie Gibbs' album. You know what I'm saying? But why even have the debate when we know that it's not real? Because Freddie Gibbs' album was 3,000 times better than that shit Nas put out. More power to Nas. He got his Grammy he been trying to get for the last 248 years. Whatever, you know? So, you know, this is what it is.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm finish your thought because I was gonna play something. It's gonna take a couple of minutes. So finish your thoughts.
Well, I wanted to address this point that I really don't want to fuck this up, but I might. So, Ruse Bay Mataresi. I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, he said basically, if you like music, just listen to it. Don't wait for someone to sanction your taste. Absolutely.
Real talk.
But I also want to add to this though. There's nothing wrong with awards if they're legit and they're from people that you give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Like if black people, if there was some people like the NAACP Image Awards. I don't really care for them, but people fuck with it, right? And if there's something like where people felt like, okay, this is literally from our people, like the Academy is supposed to be like the people who are in the industry, who are actors and directors, like they give each other awards in their work, right? It's okay if we go and give each other awards. It just, to me, it has to be from us and it has to be legit. You know, there's nothing wrong with the awards, but at the same time, who you like and what you listen to has nothing to do with whether or not other people feel like it's worthy of an award. So
something people don't realize too with the Grammys, why you can't even compare them 1-to-1 is there's like award inflation. What I mean by that is there is literally like something like 3 times the amount of categories that there are before. So when someone tells you that, hey, Beyonce won 10 Grammys in a year, they don't tell you that there's like 126 categories now. Whereas before, like when Stevie Wonder would like get like 7 or something Grammys, it was like 30 categories. It's way different. They make more categories to create more winners so that there's more people to market. So the record companies have campaign to make more Grammys so that more people can win awards and they can now market more people as Grammy winners. So it's not even like you can compare apples to apples anymore.
The only winners of these award shows are the producers. Because if you're a hip hop producer and you win a Grammy, your budget, your work just went from $5,000 a beat to $100,000 a beat. Them is the only fucking winners because you can make beats. DJ Premier been making beats for 200 years. Well, he's always going to make beats.
Well, anybody in the industry that gets an award for something, it counts for something.
No, what I'm saying is because if you're a rapper or a singer and you win a Grammy, that doesn't mean your career's going to be around very long.
Oh, no, fuck no.
You know what I'm saying? But the producers are going to be around. You know what I'm saying? Premier, Teddy Riley, those dudes are all Grammy winners. And their budget just went through the roof. I remember he was telling that story about how he had won a Grammy and he needed, I think it was Biggie Smalls when he did Unbelievable. And he said, you know, he only had $10,000 in the budget, but Premier was charging $30,000. This is 1994. He was charging $30,000 a beat. You know what I'm saying? But he still did it for Biggie, but that's crazy for 1994. You know what I'm saying? For getting $30,000 a beat.
Man, I know producers today that would do anything for $3,000 a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 2008 B. Scott said, I mean, people as much as most like her rush to compare Beyonce to Aretha simply on basis of Grammys or whatever, and that's pretty ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like comparing LeBron to Michael Jordan. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, that was a comment that made me say like you can't even compare because there's so many more awards to win. They're up to like I think 90 something categories now, and they've made a lot of redundant ones like best performance and best song and best album. So they've made like duplicative categories just to increase people's uh the amount that there is to give out. So that's right now you see all the time. Someone won 10 awards in a year. Someone won 7 awards in a year, 12 awards like every year. That used to not happen because there wasn't that many categories to rack up awards like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Check this out. This is an example. Like I was listening to a lot of new music, and most of it was good, and I was pleasantly surprised. And I was like, I was wrong. There's a lot of good millennial and Gen Z R&B and stuff out there, but the British stuff kept sounding like this. This is another example, and this is like a bunch of them. They were all just had this vibe. The British stuff was the only stuff I wasn't that crazy about, but it was stuff like this.
Going through like the queen, baby blue, how you do? Nice
Yeah,
to meet ya.
I
20
was
years late to do that. That's 20 years ago.
yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like things got there like mad late, man. They're all like flowetry. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's 20 years ago.
yo, I was like, they have not even went. It's like flowetry meets Drake was a lot of the music. It's just it was okay, but it was all kind of boring. But outside the British stuff, it was.
It's so corny.
Yeah, they're all yeah.
Just tell me how you doing, don't say
Even like their face and thinking about crumpets.
She wants
I
to
don't know
be
what they're
Alicia
doing.
Keys.
She
Yeah.
she can't really sing.
98 times were really great, chilling with the boys in the hood.
Chilling with the boys in the hood.
People can't sing. Like
Go back to Brixton, bro.
they can like carry a tune barely.
Yeah.
I'm born in 98 times were really great, chilling with the boys in the hood. At times I was misunderstood.
Eating beef patties. Yeah.
Like Rich just said, this is circa 2003.
Yeah, it's like flow. It's, like,
it's dated.
The children of flowetry, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even the beat, like I said, where's the beat from?
Sounds like some old neo soul raucous record.
Yes. Want to be Jay Dilla, lo-fi type shit.
Yeah. Jay Filler, like fake Dilla. Yeah, like that was the only weak link was a lot of that
it sounds like some
UK
really
soul.
2000s shit. It really does.
Children of the corny.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, that was the only stuff I wasn't. And again, you see it, they're in an empty room. Like I don't know, those British people love being in empty rooms. I don't even understand what that's about. Just
Yeah, I think what's happening. One thing I will say about overseas, like they really, really, really do respect the craft, even if they're not that good at it. They really do. I mean, because like I still follow a lot of older artists like J. Rue the Damager and everything, just to see what they up to on Instagram or whatever. They make tons of money in Germany.
Oh yeah.
But the local artists there, if they are, I think, what's the one brother's name? Melanin 9. I know Rich know who Melanin 9 is. Melanin 9 is from over in the UK, I believe. I don't remember, but he's dope. He can rhyme. There's UK rappers that can rhyme. They come over here. They're not rhyming from over there. They come over here. Slick Rick is from the UK. Slick Rick can rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they need to get a little better. You know what I'm saying? I think they have potential.
I don't want to hear none of them rap with that horrible UK accent. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the shit.
Now, I think the old UK rap was pretty good when it came out, like that grime and the So Solid. I thought it was good, but then for some reason they started trying to chase American respectability and sound like Drake. And for some reason, that British accent trying to rap in that Drake style just doesn't work. But when the grime first came out, I actually kind of liked it in like the early 2000s, and then they just started trying to chase like kind of like an American style, and it didn't really work to me.
Like Pensy Fedor said they love the game, they're just not good at it. And that's really what it is, man. They really do, because they really do love hip hop. They really do love the culture. That they still break dancing and doing graffiti and shit. They just ain't good at it. You know what I mean? But this is the love hate thing. This is the other side of it. We don't respect the culture. We don't care about the artists, because this is such a microwave culture that something dope will come out. We talked about this. An album will come out. We'll listen to it for that summer, and then it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We don't respect the older artists. So, like I said, I went and seen Big Daddy Kane. I swear to God, there was 300 fucking people there, and this motherfucker showed out like he was with the Juice Crew still. How in the hell? But now, if Mick Jagger says that the Rolling Stones are gonna do a show, I guarantee you it's selling out. I don't give a fuck where they perform it. They can do it at Staples, they can do it in Vegas, they can do it in Miami. It's going to sell out. Because other different cultures, they respect their artists. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't respect our artists. You even got people that want to say that this is how weird hip hop culture is and the fans. Kendrick has an album that's going to come out, I'm sure. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm sure it's coming. And they're already saying, man, it's probably not even going to be that good. Why? Why? Because he hasn't been out in a while? Like, why is it the first thing you think about when an artist is at the top of the game? How can we bring him down?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? Crabs in a barrel, haterism? I don't know what the fuck you call it. But
hold on. Did you
He froze.
Oh. Yo, I've been trying.
Froze, Kenny.
What?
There you go. You're back. You froze.
Yeah, something's going on with StreamYard. It's tripping.
Yeah. I think it's the second time that happened for you. Yo, there's a lot of like when the UK grime first came out, I thought it was good. Then they dropped the ball, and now they have this UK drill, and I just don't like that stuff for the most part. Yeah, I don't like it. There's only, the only UK recent rap song that I liked is by these two old white guys. Have you seen them? There's two white senior citizens doing UK rap, and I actually like it better than the black stuff. I don't know why.
Because you're racist.
I guess I am racist. I don't know, but because these guys. Okay, actually, I'll play them, but it's weird. There's two old retired guys. Hold on. This is the only British song I've tried recently that I like.
Knocking them down, knocking them back, boys on the walkways, on the flats. I got the cold case under wraps. We put the pork pies on the map. That's a fact. And I ate pigs and bacon. Yeah. Then I play cards in the basement.
Go shut the doors down, run them out, 4 down. What's that? Mine now. 1 bing, 6 rounds. Shut up, sit down.
What are you doing here?
That's it. That's the only thing.
I don't know what. I don't even have a.
Way to compare it to? Yeah, is that a comparative?
I'm pretty much with Kenny on this. I don't even know.
I don't even know what I just watched.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the song was. What was it? Was it a parody?
It's different.
Was it real?
No. You listen to it. Glow G has the album. So this isn't even the best song. What do you mean?
I'm good on the rest of it, but I was just thinking also, like, it's not just like older artists that can go overseas and stuff. Like
was that Walter White?
Yeah. Swear it looked just like him. Swear.
That's a good comparison. That's exactly what it sounded like. I mean, look what he looked like. So like,
wait,
the interesting. I'm sorry.
Oh no! So wait, why are you saying it's the best song? Lucid Dream. Hold on, I want to see. Yeah, keep going. I just want to see what they said. A song is.
No, I was just thinking about like the idea of going overseas and how much money and how much, like, because a lot of artists, like you pointed out, like can go overseas and they're like still making money. They can tour all over Europe. And I have, I've actually known people who were like weren't big. Like so, one of my friends, he's this rapper named Graydon Square, right? Graydon Square was like a rapper who's like he's a black guy, talks about a lot of science stuff, atheism, stuff like that, right? He had fans, I swear to fucking God, that flew from, I don't forgot where the fuck they were from. These white kids, they're like 19, 18, 19. They just wanted to meet Graydon Square. I just happened to be kicking it with him that day, and we were all in the school studio. These kids came, one of them had a tattoo that said Graydon Square on his arm.
Wow.
You ever heard of Graydon Square?
Probably I've never heard this name until now.
Which name was that?
Graydon Square. That was his name. This rapper.
No, I don't remember that.
Graydon Square?
Graydon Square, yes. So
what does that mean?
So the story to that was that when he was a kid, he thought his geometry teacher said Graydon Square, but he said Gradient Square. But he thought Graydon Square sounded like a cool rap name, so that's what he went with. That's the story.
Fuck out of here. Are you serious?
That's the story. As far as I remember, that's the story. But,
he's a real rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. So like
from LA.
The people, he's actually not from LA. He's from like Arizona or something. But
oh shit.
Well, he kind of moved around, so maybe that's why. But
his real name is Eddie Collins.
Yeah. But we all call him Graydon. Nobody calls him Eddie. He's a real nice guy, real cool guy. So anyway, so people like him, he had this thing called GU. I forgot what it called. I forgot what it stood for, and I was in it for media stuff. But his crew, like all these rappers, one of these guys was 40 years old, a 40-year-old rapper, bald head, family, one of his kids about to go off to college, right? He had a fan in Germany that made a video of him crip walking to this guy's song. What? Dead serious. I don't remember his rap name, so I can't even tell you his rap name. He was a really nice guy too. Actually met up with him when I went to Baltimore. DC. But so that's like an actual thing where you can be nobody, quote unquote, in America and have like super fans in a whole other country who fuck with your shit like crazy, like insane. And Europe is big for that.
That's interesting.
People, like I said, you never heard of Graydon Square, but you.
I've never heard of him before.
That's why I tell people.
You know who else has a following like that is Immortal Technique.
So he's another friend of mine, right? Yeah. That's exactly right. And let me tell you something, but it's not just overseas. He still sells out shows. He had a show here in it was in Orange County, and remember California and LA, we have like a lot of Latinos, and Latino rappers can pretty much go anywhere there are Latinos and make money. Like they will fucking sell out. And so
I don't think I've ever heard Immortal Technique song, even though I've known of him for years.
He's real political. I mean, honestly, he's kind of like more like a revolutionary who fell into rap kind of sound.
when Immortal Technique really blew up around the 9/11 is an inside job stuff. That's when he really around 01, 02, 03.
But the thing about him,
I think he's a guy threw the Hamilton guy into the trash.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah, that alone, I like him.
But no, he's really a cool guy. But even him, I remember he came out here to Orange County, and he did a show. They had to book 2 nights because they sold out both nights right away. Right? Bodega Bams from New York came out here to LA, and the line was around the fucking block. I was only there because we were interviewing him, but he was like, it was insane. It was packed the spot that he was at was packed the fuck out. Now, granted, it wasn't Staples Center or the Forum or something, right? But it was still a pretty big venue. Not to like a month before that, Troy Ave was there, and they had to beg people to come to the front.
Damn. But they got big people to come to the front of Troy Ave in New York.
Which is really bad. But this is like actually at the height of Troy Ave, right?
Yeah.
But Troy Ave was more popular than Bodega Bams.
Oh yeah, at that point in time, yeah, he was more popular. Yeah, but Bodega Bam is a Latino.
Yeah, but exactly.
Troy Ave was trying too hard to say he was bringing New York back. Like every single song, it was like, okay, like, look at ahead of yourself. I don't know.
He was a little extra. I like some of his songs actually.
Yeah, I like some of his songs too, but
he was known for the shit that happened with what's his name?
Taxstone.
Yeah, Taxstone.
Yeah. What was that?
He wasn't bad, but he would just try to hype himself up as the savior of New York rap, like a little too early.
Yeah, he was like, I called my album New York because nobody else had called their album New York. So I was like, I'm New York. And I was
like, yeah. What did he call it? Bupac or some shit? What was the name of his album?
No, it was called New York.
Yeah. He had one called New York.
Yeah, and it was like Bricks or what was the other one? I don't remember. I don't remember. But my point was just that like, when Latino rappers tour, though, like they still make. It don't matter where they go. If there's Latinos there, they will make money. There's a guy here who I didn't even know. I never heard of him. You probably heard his name was King Lil G. And he was exactly. I had never heard of him either.
But he's Mexican though, right?
Mexican, yeah, Mexican. Of course, it was King Lil G. It's a total Mexican name. But he, so he had a show. Not show. He had like a signing. And his thing was literally like I don't know how many blocks down, waiting to get this autograph from this guy. I had never heard of, and at the time I worked in hip hop media, and I never heard of him. I went online to his Spotify. He had millions of listens. His YouTube videos had millions. Never heard of this guy. He kicking in HP. That's just like a little Latino community in LA. So Latino rappers out here, they getting their money. At least the males are. The women aren't really doing that great, to be honest.
Yo, StreamYard is tripping.
Are you still freezing? Maybe you need to be.
It's tripping.
Maybe you need to be fresh or something, or come out and come back in.
No, it's the website. This is you see the little bars up there when showing like 3 bars and shit. That's the thing tripping.
Oh, okay. There was we didn't talk about Lee Daniels. Before you came on, Rita, I was talking about how like I'd be trying to think because what broke me was the series Them. I wasn't gonna watch it because it looked like tragedy porn, but somebody asked me to watch it to be on their podcast. So I watched it and it was just so bad and just traumatic. And I'm like, I gotta practice self-care and go with my instincts on some of this stuff. So someone else asked me to watch that Groundhog's Day with the shooting of the black man on Netflix. I forgot the one that just won the Oscar, and I said no, I'm not gonna do it no more after that.
Yeah, what I'm glad about though is how Black people now are more aware of how that shit has been affecting them. So I feel like our parents have kind of made us watch a lot of that shit, thinking they were teaching us some history.
Yeah,
and it's like now, okay, I think we got the message. We're gonna keep watching us get tortured over and over again, right?
It's not even good. It's not even for a good reason. It's just bad.
Right. And well, remember, these people don't have a real political perspective. I told you that about Lena Waithe a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's very clear in how she does stuff. But my baby brother, who's 15, he just watched the Groundhog's Day movie. And he said he was watching it with his mom. And that she was crying. And he was kind of like, this is stupid. Like, he didn't like it at all. And
what movie was this he was watching?
The Groundhog's Day. That's one of the kid, Joey Badass.
Two Distant Strangers.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I fucked up the name. Two Distant Strangers. Where he keeps dying over and over again. And my baby brother is a big Joey Badass fan, so he's like, oh, I want to watch it. His mom wants to watch it because she's like, oh, it's a deep movie. I don't know. He said that she was like really sad and crying in the movie, and he was just like, I don't see how she like this. This is like, I don't get the point of this. He said there was no point. So basically what he told me. So we were talking about it. I was explaining to him. I said, well, the thing is, I wouldn't even watch it because why would I need to see that over and over again? Like, what is the point? What was the message in it? He's like, well, it wasn't really a message. I said, exactly. I said, all it is a way for white people to feel better about themselves if they're not that racist, right? That's all that shit is. It doesn't help you. It doesn't inform anybody about anything. There's no new perspective or spin on it. There's no revolution that's happening. It's just literally watching a Black kid get killed over and over and over again. How does that help you? Who does that empower?
This is trauma porn.
It's literally trauma porn.
And they just gave it an Oscar, so now they're really gonna encourage people to keep doing it now.
Well, what I also hate.
Go ahead, Vita.
What I also hate that Black liberal people do is they try to guilt you for being like not one of the people on the train who's like, oh no, that was a powerful movie. It really opened people's eyes. How could you not like that movie?
You just took the words out of my mouth. Just use different words because I was gonna say the reason why they keep doing this shit is because you got the Black liberals and Black SJWs that keep promoting this shit. They're perennial. They're victim bullies. They're perennial victims of everything, and they'll even victimize themselves to get a bag. But this is how they get a bag. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
This is what they do, and we're gonna keep. You notice we're not getting slave movies anymore. We're getting this shit now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep getting this shit until this era, because this is really the SJW era, 2016 to current day, and we're just gonna keep getting the same shit over and over and over and over again. We went from respectability politics with Barack Obama from 2018, and then when he was about to leave, then the SJWs came and took over, and now it's like they have to. Like, I read this article today, and it was talking about I must just there you go, T. I know you just froze up.
Okay.
But I was reading this article today, and it was about the vaccine, and it was from CNN, and it was this dude literally saying that they make politics, everything is about being the SJW. So now it's not even about you need to get the vaccine because it's the best thing to do. It's supposed to be now it's you need to get it because you're a liberal, and the only people that don't want it aren't liberals. And I'm like, dude, it's stupid now.
Culture war shit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, if what they need to do, and this is what this motherfucker really wrote in this article. What they need to do is, if you don't get the vaccine, you can't go to sporting events. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys don't even like McCarthyism, but here you go.
Yeah, that's so hypocritical. That's so hypocritical.
Exactly. Like, stop making everything about politics. So, and I don't want to sound like that person, but at the end of the day, when you keep seeing it over and over and over again, everything has something to do with somehow, like the show Equalizer is a good show, right? It's decent, but this is the problem. And I think Queen Latifah's dope, you know what I'm saying? But the way they set it up, she's a single mother, she's got a daughter, the daughter be talking crazy and talking back. Why did that have to be in that? What was the point of that?
Oh man, I saw the first episode of that, not the whole thing, but I just wanted to wait for the action, just to see what the action was going to be like. And that fight scene, it so delivered in terms of being bad. They tried every type of quick cut and everything they could do to pretend she was a credible fighter, and it just did not. It just did not work. Did you see any of the fight scenes?
Why does the narrative? No, I didn't watch it long enough. Why does the narrative have to become she's the struggling single mother?
Yeah.
The movie Equalizer, Denzel ain't got no goddamn kids.
And the TV one that was based on, he didn't have a bunch of kids either.
Yes.
You want something else I noticed? I have two examples I can think of off top, but there's multiple. Another thing they do on TV shows, if they do have a black couple, for some reason they always have the husband in a position where he's not working or no longer working. And I also thought that to be interesting. So I was watching this show now. I was getting my hair done. This girl lady was watching Good Girls on Netflix, and it's with the girl with Christina Hendricks from Mad Men, the black lady from Parks and Recs, and this white girl who I can't remember what she's in. But it's like these women who are counterfeiters. It's a good little like story overall. But I noticed that the black family, so the black lady's married to a black man, but he's no longer he was a cop, which is another thing that they do. They make
is this Widows?
No, it's called Good Girls.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the father is a cop who lost his job or something, right? And like there's other names black people cops all the time. I don't understand that shit either. Or chief of police, that's another thing. But so there's that, and then another show I saw was what's that show? What's that? You watched it, T?
Which was that?
The superhero show.
The Boys?
No, with Regina King.
Oh, Watchmen.
Watchmen. Yeah. It was the same case there. Remember, he wasn't working. So I find it to be really interesting that they also like the black family, the black male character is like if they do have a black family, they kind of like almost I don't want to say emasculate, but pretty much emasculate him because we look at men who can't provide as no longer.
Yeah, they do that a lot with the black women. They make the black women the men. I was gonna play this real quick. This is the fight scene from the Equalizer, and it says full screen is unavailable. I don't know why, but you have to just look at it like this.
Because you look too close, you might see how horrible it
is. yeah, they might have disabled the
neighborhood watch. I just came to make sure the girl was all right. She don't look all right.
Maybe you should mind your own business.
Uh-oh. You do not want to mess with the queen.
I'll tell you, I tried.
Uh-oh.
But it turns out I'm really bad at it.
Oh, no.
But there are other things I'm real good at. So why don't you let that girl go? And I'll let you walk out of here.
You see how they're building this up?
I hate the laugh.
Because you said so. Lady. I don't know
Guns
who
and
you
4
think you are,
guys. What's she
but
gonna do?
this is my world. And in my world,
Look, you can't see anything.
Oh, the camera's doing. It's going 60,000 frames per
Oh
second.
my god!
Yo,
You know what
that
this?
can't.
You know what this reminds me of? It's like when you watch a Destiny's Child video and Michelle's dancing. Notice
Yeah.
that they never give you a good shot of her dancing. They always have to kind of cut it in a way where you see like maybe one move. That's
Yeah.
it.
Like you-
Or she's standing still and like to be in just to make sure she's in the shot. But they never focus on her dancing ever. Look at the I'd say the perfect video is "Can You Keep Up?" Whatever that song's called. It's like one of their first
Oh,
singles from
I know what you know,
Destiny's
Baby
Book.
Boy. I know. I don't know the name of the song.
Lose
Yeah.
My Breath. That's what it's called. So Lose My Breath. Watch that video. You'll notice that they never show you Michelle really dancing because she can't dance.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
But
but
they're pushing this certain narrative, and they're pushing. I'm
Mhm.
even seeing they're pushing Rhapsody into this certain lane, and
What
it's
do you
like
mean?
Rhapsody the rapper. They're pushing her into this lane where it's like she has to be the one because Meg the Stallion and all the other ones, they're not doing the woman empowerment thing, like on the ground, boots on the ground thing. So they're pushing Rhapsody into that. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, man, like, why do you guys have to do this? They got talent. Let them use their talent.
You know, I don't actually mind the black empowerment thing, black woman empowerment thing. Initially, I didn't mind it because it felt more sincere, and then later it started to
But
feel
now it's every fucking
so
song.
contrived. Yeah. And then on top of that, I don't even think she really feels the way they're trying to make it look. Because I've listened to her music for a very long time, and she kind of always had like shots she kind of took at female rappers that dressed a certain way or looked a certain way. Even in her last album, she did it. You know, like little mini shots, not big shots, little mini shots. You know. And so I'll be questioning, like, do you actually fuck with these female rappers and like support all women in the way that you do? Because you don't really, like, you don't
Yeah.
seem like that type. And I'm not mad at whoever she is who you are, but it's just feels so contrived. And I fuck with Rhapsody. You know, I feel like her first, what's that album, Lila's?
It was Layla's Dream.
Yeah, something like that. That was a good album. You know, but that didn't come across like, you know, bullying you into loving black women or something. It was just sort of
Man, okay. Wait. I'm glad you just said it because that's what it sounds like. Why do you have to bully us into believing what you're saying about black women? We already know. Look, and all of our experiences are going to be different. All the black women we know are different. They're not all the same. But when I hear you keep trying to bully me into this shit, I'm like, okay, you're not even sincere.
and I think that's what it is. It feels so inauthentic and insincere. And Overwoke Twitter called Rhapsody a pick me. But this is the thing. They're gonna call her that because the majority of her fans are male.
Yeah.
But they probably especially called it that because of the song she did on the Busta Rhymes album. Did you hear that song?
Mm-mm.
Oh, she did a song on the Busta Rhymes album. It was a good song, but it was really sympathetic to men, to fathers and broken relationships, where she kind of was like, the guy was talking about he was trying to be a good father and the girl wouldn't let him visit and all this stuff. That's Busta Rhymes. Then she comes on, she's like, yeah, I was just hurt, and you know, maybe I wasn't the best, and I weaponized, you know, the courts against you and all this stuff. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh, Twitter's gonna go in on her because you're not supposed to ever say a woman can be wrong versus a man ever, especially a black man. So I think that song probably got her a lot of grief.
So like I feel like see, this is, I guess, what I don't like about that is you can't ever create songs now that give you honest perspectives. You know, like I was listening to a DMX song, and in the song he's, you know, playing the character of this really terrible guy. You know, he's murdering people and all this shit. And one of the lines he basically says he's basically gonna rape your daughter or something, right?
Oh, nigga, DMX says, Nick, go ahead, Vita.
No, but what I was gonna say was
he's playing a character.
But that's the thing. He's literally playing a character, and he's doing all these heinous things throughout the song. But if that song had come out now, they would have zeroed in on that one part, right? But even though that's not his perspective, he wouldn't. As far as we know, we don't have any stories of him raping women. So I feel like it's interesting that that nowadays that you can't even have like just the song. Like we don't even really know Rhapsody's perspectives on single motherhood, but she's playing a character in a song.
Because she has to
Yeah, exactly.
Character now.
Everything has to be affirming and endorsement. So there's you must really believe it if you're playing the character. It's really
Even
weird.
Jay-Z is doing it. Even Jay-Z is doing it right now. He's running around looking like Jean-Michel Basquiat and shit. But this motherfucker's doing it too. Like he is at this point now for a rapper like Jay-Z, he has two lanes. He has to be the SJW's benefactor, which is like he's providing the money, or he has to be the Don CEO. I got all the artwork and blah blah blah. He's got a new song with him and Nas, and I listened to it and I was like, I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about your artwork. I don't want to hear about how you're a CEO and you smoke cigars all day.
Yeah, it's boring. I like Jay-Z, but I hate Beyonce's husband, and I feel like Jay-Z's last album was the Black Album, and everything after has been Beyonce's husband. And it's weird. Like Beyonce used to have like no swag, nothing, and at some point, like she has become cooler than Jay-Z. I still don't like her
because she literally credits Jay-Z for it.
Oh well, she sucked out his swag or something because he's gotten corny since. Like she's actually cool. Like
this man really is. This dude really grew his hair to look like Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Totally.
Bro.
I think also we have to be fair in the sense that people get old and start doing all types of weird shit. Like I'm not saying he's that old because he's not, but still,
he's too old to be doing that.
Well, definitely, but maybe he's having a midlife crisis. Who knows? Like, what's going on with that nigga?
But Basquiat's been dead for 30 years.
So
I want to take.
Jay-Z's having a midlife crisis now.
Yeah, exactly. I want to take a chance, just do the whole thing. Hit the super chat if you're enjoying the stream. You can do the regular super chat, and we'll read your comment on the air. And like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to do that. PayPal us at champagnesharks@gmail.com, or you could Venmo or Cash App us at Champagne Sharks. Finally, patreon.com/Champagne Sharks. You get a whole bunch of goodies and bonus episodes and all that good stuff. So yeah, I forgot to do that at some point. And Vita, did you want to talk about Lee Daniels? Because I feel like we Here's something I would like to point out about Lee Daniels, because you want me to put up some interviews about him. This was funny. He said something on, well, not funny, but like funny style. He said about black women in the welfare office on Larry King. Well, the AIDS place. He said about black women having AIDS, and I don't know if y'all ever saw this, but
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, check this out. This is not the guy that I feel like should be handling Spook, who sat by the door.
You'd be surprising me with these Lee Daniels shits. Did you find that article though? The one where he was basically like blaming black people for their own racism.
Oh, I think I found that one too. I'll play that one. Hold on.
When did you know you were gay? When did I know I was gay? What? I was 5. And 5 that I knew something wasn't right, or that I wasn't right in comparison to my brothers, because my dad was playing cards one Sunday with his cop friend.
Oh wait, I think this might be the wrong clip. I want the one where he said that he went to the welfare office and that he just saw a bunch of welfare queens.
We have AIDS. I did a movie called Precious.
Oh, here it is.
Well, third-class citizens. I missed that too. Has not changed. I think that they're prejudiced upon even African Americans.
Actually, you know what? The whole clip is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll just play the whole thing for context.
Oh, you were gay. When did I know I was gay? What? I was 5. And 5 that I knew something wasn't right, or that I wasn't right in comparison to my brothers, because my dad was playing cards one Sunday with his cop friends, and I put on my mother's red pumps and walked down the stairs,
And he what's going on? What's happened?
My life is over.
Oh my
But I just want to just say
And
that
then-
that's
and I
actually
got-
not unusual for kids to put on their mother's shoes. That doesn't indicate you're gay. I just want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very common thing that kids do.
Really?
Yeah, he beat me really bad. But that didn't stop me because the following Sunday I put on her blue high heel shoes and walked down the stairs. This time with her purse.
In an interview a year ago, you said gay people are third-class citizens.
I meant that too.
Has that changed?
I think that they're prejudiced upon even from the African Americans too. I think that the reason why we have AIDS. I did a movie called Precious, and
naturally,
and what I've learned, I expected when I was doing the research for Precious, I walked into the AIDS, the AIDS, what's it called, the Gay Men's Health Crisis Center in New York City, studying AIDS, HIV. And I expected to see a room full of gay men. Well, there are nothing but women that are there. And the reason why women are there, Black women with kids. I thought I had walked into the welfare office. But
what?
They service.
Pause that. Pause that shit. Pause that shit. What the fuck did he just say? What the fuck? No, did he just say?
Yeah.
I can't even believe he said that shit. On Larry King. Yo, he doesn't know how to be on code properly. Like, how did he get past any of the thresholds that Black people are supposed to go through, even in Hollywood? Like, how did he even, this is totally, completely bizarre.
He's totally on code, but who's
I
code?
don't know.
he's on the code, just not Black people's code.
Good point. I just can't believe he said that shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
With AIDS, why? Because Black men can't come out. Why? Because it's simply you can't do it. Your family says it.
So basically, he said on top. Let's get past the fact that he said that the welfare queens thing, which is horrible. He said the reason that they have AIDS is because of gay discrimination, because Black men can't come out, so they're forced to give
Black women AIDS.
Yeah, and that's kind of throwing everybody under the bus because he's kind of saying that gay people are, irresponsible and just doing whatever. Like, why would being in the closet force you to get AIDS? If you're gay, you're not using protection, you're being irresponsible. You can be irresponsible in or out the closet. So it's like he's basically just throwing everyone in the bus. The Black women are welfare queens. The Black men are on the down low lying, which has never been proof for that there's a down low phenomenon among Black men. And then also Black gay people are particularly irresponsible. And also these things that face Black people are not because they're Black, but because of homophobia. Homophobia is why. It's not poverty, not jail, not lack of access to health
to throw
services.
Specifically the Black community under the bus to make it like, well, it's because Black people are homophobic, not the rest of society.
Oh
Black
yeah,
people
Black people
are
homophobic.
People.
Yeah. Like there's so many reasons why. There's so many systemic socio-political reasons why AIDS is fast rising in the Black community, but it has nothing to do with white supremacy and anti-Blackness. It's actually homophobia that is and how bad gay people are treated. So basically, that story to him is a proof of how gay people are third-class citizens, even compared to Black people who are second-class citizens. Like, yeah, this guy is not qualified to do Spook or Sat by the Door in any shape or form.
Yeah, so this is the thing and I know a lot of our listeners and people who are fans have watched the film if they haven't read the book. Because I know that was part of the movie club, right? You guys watched it, right?
Say it again.
You guys watched the Spook Who Sat by the Door in the movie club, right? So I know a lot of our fans and our listeners have actually seen the movie. If you've seen the movie, then you understand why Lee Daniels is clearly not the person to create anything in regards to even anything in the same lane as the Spook Who Sat by the Door. Like, he has literally no business. That is an extremely powerful story. Extremely pro-Black. I feel like he's going to insert a bunch of dumb shit that's unnecessary. I feel like he's going to purposely try to water down the conversation that was in that movie.
It's only going to be Spook Sat by the Door by name.
pretty much. Because there's no way they're going to be able to. There's no way he's going to be able to give us a story that is accurate to the film or to the book. It's just not even possible because he doesn't think that way. Let's just say this guy isn't fit to represent people.
Just in general.
Just
Yeah.
in general, not even
Yeah.
gay people with.
I mean, at the end of the day, this dude's a fucking scumbag. That's all he is. He's a fucking scumbag. He's a dirtbag. He's a piece of shit. And I can't remember the last time he had a hit movie. And what he's trying to do and what he's been trying to do is dig his way into the black community, into revolutionary stuff. This isn't the first time he's tried to do it. So he's trying to get involved. Because remember, he was going to do the Richard Pryor movie.
And it's trending now too. Like a lot of people hopping on this bandwagon.
But he ain't fit to do this trend. That's why we miss John Singleton, because he killed this trend. This is his genre. This is his thing. When you get somebody like Lee Daniels, you can already know what's going to happen. Exploitation.
Yo, the best thing is how he tried to get out of it. He got into a lot of heat with black women, and he said, I think in the heat of the moment, I said something, and what I was really saying was, fuck black dudes who are refusing to come out the closet and who are infecting our women. That is what I was getting at. I'm like, oh, that's way better than wow. Thanks. Thanks for clearing that up. Because it's okay to make it about black men. Because no, I wasn't making fun of black women. I was saying black men are down low, bug chasing. And the funny thing is, he's an admitted bug chaser himself. So he's kind of projecting his own type of thing.
But you know what's the thing that really irritates me the most? Is him and Lena Waithe in particular, is that they have become the go-tos for black genre, right? They become the go-tos for black social issue drama. They become the go-to black people to go, for a lot of this bullshit. And both of those people, in my opinion, are highly anti-black. And those are the people that, remember I told you guys this is what they do in this industry, right? They purposely pick the people that they want to, that's going to push their agenda. There's a reason why people who have no political perspective, which is clear with shows like them, clear with Slim and, what's that shit called? Queen and Slim.
Queen and Slim.
Which I actually found out was actually a copy of a Jamaican movie. My brother said he watched it in high school, and it was a 70s Jamaican movie. And it's the whole story is the exact same. They basically stole that, but whatever. Either way, the fact that they always choose these specific anti-black people to run an entire genre of black film. There's a reason for that. It's not an accident. There's a reason why they keep calling on Lee Daniels and funding his projects. That's not an accident.
No, it's not.
There's a reason why they pick people who literally have done nothing progressive as far as content for black people. Nothing Lena Waithe has ever done or Lee Daniels has ever done, ever, has been anything progressive in black film. Not a single thing. But white people support his work.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, that goes along with what Malcolm X was saying about why keep having athletes and trumpet players speak on black issues. You know what I mean? Because you don't see them doing that in the white community. You don't see them going to get people that have nothing to say and giving them power to make movies in the white community. It's not going to happen. But with us, we're expendable. You know what I'm saying? As much as crazy as that sounds, and people might not like the way it sounds, as a community, we're expendable.
I mean, it's pretty much true. I mean, look at the labor market, right? Like, white people in a lot of the fields that we were working in, but like slaughterhouses and things like that, we're not working in those fields anymore. The people who do it for cheaper.
If you want to do some revolutionary movie, they're gonna do you like they did Spike Lee when he did Malcolm. They're gonna cut your funding.
Oh, we've gotten a couple of donations, guys. Did you guys notice that?
Was that?
We got a couple of donations.
Oh, I didn't notice. I was looking at another screen.
I missed. Let me see if I can pull up the things. Here we go. Here's
the golden rule. Thank you.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, we did it again.
Yeah, there we go.
The golden rule. Funny how Lee Daniels' comment about the welfare office shows how racist stereotypes exist in the LGBTQ community, and sad that it comes from the black people. Shaking my head. So the people he's complaining about is him.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though.
He's the people he's complaining about.
But when you hate yourself and you choose it, and I don't want people to take this out of context, but even if you do, you guys know I don't give a damn. So when you hate yourself and you have assumed a new identity and a part of another community, and you think that you really do think that you're different. So because Lee Daniels is gay, he doesn't think he's the same as me and T or you. He's not the same. He's a different black. He's new black.
Well, let's be real. He's because he's. Can we say, I don't know how YouTube works. We can say coon still, right? So because he's a coon. I just forget. I'm just so used to being banned off shit. So
get on Twitter, nigga.
I be having PTSD off that shit. So so he's a coon, right? So the thing about the LGBT, if you like what you're playing, like most people identify with something else. If you're a coon, you'll basically use that as like your shield now, right? Like you don't even have to associate with the black people. You feel like, well, I'm a part of this community now. And the reason why you know that they're coons themselves is because the people who are literally in LGBTQ community spaces with non-black people will tell you how racist those spaces are.
Yes.
Unless you're a coon, you probably don't. You're not going to enjoy it very much. I remember in one of my old apartments, I had a neighbor for the first time. I had met this neighbor for the first time. He comes to me with a big bowl, like a big punch bowl, and in it, it's like it looks like a big bowl of like candy with little candy wrappers and stuff. So I go to get. He's like, "Oh, would you like one?" I said, "Sure." I go to reach in, and it's a condom, right? And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So now my apartment building is full of college students. That's probably why he was doing it. But anyway, so I was like, I'm okay, because at the time I don't think I was having sex. So I was like, I don't need it, it's okay, And so he was telling me about his job, and he worked for an LGBT, like a really big LGBTQ organization here in LA. I forgot what it's called. Let's say Alliance or something. I forgot what it's called. Not GLAAD, but another one. At any rate, he was telling me how racist it is there, because one of the biggest fights at the time was gay marriage, right? And if you remember, the conversation around gay marriage was specifically about being able to put somebody on your health insurance, remember, or being able to visit them in the hospital, that kind of stuff. And something he told me that really opened my eyes. He said that's a white issue. He said, think about it. Most of us, he's Mexican, and we were in South Central, so there's a lot of blacks and Mexicans there. He was like, think about it. Most of us don't even have jobs that give us health care.
Right.
So we don't even, we have to solve that problem first. The fact that everybody don't have health care.
It was that and trying to pretty much pass down, like if you can get married, you die, you could pass down.
Exactly. We don't have property.
Yeah, right? What you're passing down.
But notice that was the central part of their argument about gay marriage. Now, of course, gay marriage, I want everybody to get married and love who they love, whatever. That's great. But when that's your core message and your core reason, despite the fact that there are people within your community who can't feed themselves, who can't take their partners or loved ones to the hospital, because their families have been generationally poor, and that's not a part of your conversation, there's no way you're going to tell me you're in those spaces. You watch that shit happen, and you're going to say this space is safer for you as a black person than your own community. There's no way you're going to convince me of that, because a lot of those spaces are heavily white male dominated.
Absolutely.
Does not stop them from being white supremacists. I'm going to tell you that right now. So these people are also holding powerful positions in government, making sure that your black ass go to jail. And make sure you don't live in their beautiful, white, wealthy, gay neighborhood. Think I'm joking. Look at how many black people live in those neighborhoods that are predominantly white, gay communities. Not a lot of black people.
Not a lot of black people at all.
If you see one, to be real. So let's just keep it a buck. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm not saying, this is another quote. He did an interview about the end of empire and woke culture. And this is a horribly racist interview. Like this interviewer, that's a whole different story. And like it's another example, like people know who to try things with, and I find very interesting that with him this guy was trying to coax all this racist stuff out. But anyway, he talks about his first movie, then he talks about his next movie, Precious, and he goes, you followed Shadow Dancer with Precious. I gather it was received differently by audiences at Sundance than by those at Magic Johnson theaters in Harlem, where it was screen tested. And then Lee Daniels responds, it played at the Magic Johnson Theater like a comedy. But when we showed it at Sundance, it was a completely different reaction. I was like, oh man, are they bored? Because they were so quiet at Sundance. And then at the end, they stood up. Barbara Bush sent me a personal letter saying, Precious is my movie. And we became friendly. That's George H.W. Bush's wife. Yeah, I was just blown away. I watch Precious and I laugh. And then the interviewer goes, seriously? And Lee Daniels goes, I do. I haven't seen it in years, but I just hollered from beginning to end because that's what we, meaning black people, do. And then the interviewer goes, it's so brutal and sad. Laughing is an appropriate reaction to that movie. And he goes, no, it's not. It's more like, oh my God, someone's telling our secrets. Are you really, really going to go there? I think that those who have been abused and live that life laugh. It's so painful that you have to laugh because if you sit with it, you'll fucking be in the mental institution. And I will say, I saw Precious in the theater because God help me, somebody dragged me there and I never look at them the same again. Um, they loved it and they saw it twice. But I went to a black theater in Brooklyn and there was a lot of laughing. But the reason that they were laughing is because it was a fucking cartoon. Like it was just like they weren't laughing because it hit home and they were so traumatized. Like I swear my theater,
horror movie.
yeah, my theater was laughing. I don't think they even realized it was meant to be taken seriously. Like people were just laughing because it was just over the top cartoonish. She's running with a bucket of chicken, and I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like this guy is talking about that, and Lee Daniels like, oh no, I can't let white people,
Yes, and
think.
that's how disconnected Lee Daniels is from black people, and that's what I mean by
Well,
he
I
is.
don't think it's disconnected. I think he knows, but he has to cover for the white interviewer because he has the value that he gets to white people is to convince them that he's conveying something honest. So he's trying to cover up the laughing and what it indicates by saying, yeah, they're laughing because it hits so close to home.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I'm about
It's
to
not
say
them,
because there's
yeah,
no way he believes that because we
yeah, he
know
doesn't
that
believe it.
as in our community, that's why our comedians like Richard Pryor and all these different people tell such great jokes because we laugh at our pain in a different kind of way. You know what I mean? When Richard Pryor's telling a story about the match and he was, getting high freebasing, it's funny the way he described it. Nobody's gonna be laughing about, oh yeah, we want to hide this from white people. No, dude, it looked like a fucking cartoon.
Yeah,
It
it was
was, it was
stupid.
a horror movie, dude. The same way we laugh at horror movies when Freddy Krueger sticks his tongue out the receiver of the phone and kisses the
Yeah,
girl in the mouth. You know what I mean? It was a fucking horror movie.
So
that's exactly what it was.
I watched the movie in the theater too. Similar reason I was kind of dragged there, but at the same time I was working in social services, so it was like that was like the movie to watch, right? In that field, because we all worked in social services and worked with those kind of families who dealt with a lot of those issues that were in the film. So I was okay, I'll go with my friends to go, and it was a one. And after we watched it, we both kind of looked at each other like, "What the fuck did we just watch? Like, why did we watch this?" Like, there are definitely scenes that are just completely ridiculous. Like, people did laugh about the bucket of chicken part, and some of her scenes where she's like fantasizing being, beautiful and famous or whatever she was doing. People laughed a lot of that shit. But there were so many scenes that were sick and horrific that I really just wanted to black out and forget everything I saw. Like it was that horrific to me. And so for him to say that people were laughing because it hit home and they were telling our secrets, ha ha ha, that's some bullshit. A lot
Yeah,
of people who I know who watched it, they were triggered as fuck when they left that theater.
but he needs
So
white people to believe that that's what's happening.
the people who actually had experienced that shit or had witnessed it or had, know or has been close to that, nobody was laughing at that shit. That shit was fucking horrific. So people who were laughing because your shit was terrible and your shit
Yeah,
was corny and your shit was over the top. And on top of that, I think partially it was cartoonish because he was trying to make fun of black people. And that's really
exactly.
how I feel.
Yes.
And everybody who wasn't laughing was like traumatized because it was so disgusting,
That's how, and
snuff
that's where I
He's
was.
not. He's not telling these stories to appeal to and for people to have appeal and have empathy towards black people. He's creating these stories to make fun of black people. That's why they look the way they look.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with it. I mean, all the good people were light skinned. That was another one.
Yeah,
And it was very clear, like not just light skinned, it was like mixed, or hella white,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Paula
Mariah Carey.
Patton, Mariah Carey,
They were all
Lenny,
biracial.
Lenny Kravitz, right. So that was another thing that I noticed that really bothered me. And from what people told me, those who read the book, and I think people in the chat had said that they had to read the book in school. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but people who were defending it, who had read the book, said that in the book, that was actually symbolic in the book, right? It was basically this girl's perception of who was good and who was bad based off of skin color. I don't know if that was conveyed in the book the way that the people described, but that definitely was not conveyed in this movie. It was just very much what light skinned people are the good people. It's pretty much the entire message.
And the next question is interview is in the white interviewer says, in a way, Precious reminds me of Chris Rock's classic bit about how nobody hates behavior they see in black communities more than other black people. And what he's saying is niggas versus black people. Like
Right.
white people love,
Right.
yeah. I'm like that's the kind of person that gets emboldened by Lee Daniels movie. Like it confirms to them there is a niggas versus black people problem, and it's okay to laugh at them because Chris Rock gave us permission and Lee Daniels is telling us that this shit is true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm about to get even madder right now. So I was just thinking, like, what really pisses me off about Lee Daniels and the way that he does shit is that he's trying to say he represents and he's conveying an accurate representation of Black people, African Americans, in particular families, in our homes, in our lifestyles. Like he's become the guy that people are that he's able to convey that story. He's not conveying our stories. That's not the Precious story is not the majority of our stories. That's a
he's doing a character. That's all caricatures.
That's an outlier story. Not saying that things don't happen, but it's not something that's pervasive in the Black community any more than any other community, right?
Yeah.
So I just take issue with him trying to act like he's the one who's conveying. I'm going to let you guys know what's happening in our community. First of all, why do white folks
that's
need to know?
that's the everyday business in the black community.
Right. Like why? First of all, why are you? Even if this were true, which none of that shit is true, why is it so important to you that you tell white people this? Why is it so important to you that white people see how degenerate Black people are?
Because it bottom is lifestyle. Because that's what they want to see. There's a hunger for it, and white people also want that feeling. There, but for the grace of God, go I. And he realizes I'm the guy who has no qualms about giving it to you because I don't like black people either.
Question mark, donated $5 and said all of these things goes back to the Moynihan report, the pathologization. There we go. Pathologization of Black men and women the way we understood sexuality. I don't really remember the sexuality part in the Moynihan report, but I know the way that we understand, at least they try to tell us the ways that Black families interacted is completely inaccurate in that book, in that research. It was one of the most racist white supremacists. By the way, just quick side, Biden actually praised Patrick Moynihan. Just wanted to say that.
Of course he did. He's a racist.
Yeah, highly racist.
He's a racist.
I also want to share this because this is important. There's a guy called Michael Arsenault. He's a black gay writer, and one thing I like about him, he always
he used to always be on Melissa Harris Perry show.
Where did he used to be?
He used to always be on Melissa Harris Perry show.
Okay, yeah. One thing I like about him, he debunks a lot of stuff. He's not one of those like black gay writer that seems to have some kind of hard on for the hating black men. Like he's one of the people that did a lot of stuff to debunk like the down low myth and how to keep trying to blame everything on straight black men and their homophobia. And he wrote an article. This is the title of it. If you ever want to see, he wrote an article. Lee Daniels perpetuates black myths that need to die. He did a good breakdown of a lot of the stuff he doesn't like about things that Lee Daniels has said, and he collected stuff through different interviews. And one of the things he said is about the gay black men in denial giving black women AIDS in droves. And this guy says it on Larry King, which is on CNN. So he's just normalizing this idea to white people everywhere. But he says in 2009, and one thing I like about this article, he puts a lot of links to studies and everything. He doesn't just talk. In 2009, Dr. Kevin Fenton of the Centers for Disease Control explained to NPR's Michelle Martin that the issue of rising HIV/AIDS infection rates among black women is a complicated matter that research has proven cannot solely be purported to quote unquote down low brothers. And he had a bunch of fantastic little things like facts to back up his analysis. And he goes, The interviewer goes, "So is it fair to say that it is just simply not true that the majority of new infections among black women occur because of having sex with men who have sex with men?" And Dr. Fenton goes, "Yes, that would be true. It is crucially important to bear in mind there are a range of risk factors which face black women in the United States today." And in the article, he talks about like socio-political and and other things, they have to do with white supremacy and poverty and jail and stuff that and different things like that, and drug use. And he goes, "The reality is that bisexual black men account for a very, very small proportion of the overall black male population in the United States. Our research suggests that about 2% of black men will report being bisexually active, and therefore you need to look at risk factors which are far more prevalent in the community, having multiple sexual partners with unprotected sex with heterosexual partners, injecting drugs. Those are going to be factors which are far more prevalent in the population and are driving risk." But Lee Daniels says that stuff both to make black men look irresponsible and duplicitous, but also to make being gay be the bigger problem than being black. Because what the risk factors he's describing come from poverty and anti-blackness and things like that. And this article has 3 different links to different studies that disprove the down low myth. And Michael Arsenault also has stats to challenge the whole idea of like the homophobia being out of control in those communities. But yeah, it's a pretty good article that I think people should look for.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how Lee Daniels can take such a serious conversation and turn it into his bullshit to push some bullshit agenda. Like that's really fucked up. Like you're throwing gay black men under the bus and lying on heterosexual black people, saying that we're all homophobic and we hate our families. We hate our people. And then also trying to like I just have a really big problem with everything he does. So to me, anything he touches is poison, in my opinion. Like there's nothing he's gonna make that I know of and I know he made that I'm going to watch. Nothing.
It also didn't make much sense as an answer to the question, like why would homophobia cause black men to give uh
Black women,
black women AIDS?
AIDS.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't even make any sense. uh this is the last thing, and this is what I thought was very hypocritical. Empire creator Lee Daniels said you want to get AIDS on purpose.
Oh, I
And
remember that. I did run across this article before.
yeah, and that he was uh deep into drugs and going to sexual bathhouses and trying to have unprotected sex and just trying to get AIDS. And the thing that was that is like that to me shows a type of projection, because why are you going around like spreading all this propaganda about straight presenting black men running around and getting AIDS and giving AIDS to people when your own lifestyle was closer to that? That's just you know talk about yourself. Don't just bring everybody under the bus with you.
Because he's a fucking slimy, disgusting, coon ass nigga. Like he's a fucking. Nothing about him to me is redeemable. I can't stand him, and I didn't even know about the welfare comment, and that's it. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Thank you, PB, for the donation. For the 610 yen. Anyone that is in the mainstream is screened and okayed by white supremacist facts. Some may be ignorant,
You
but
said
I
that a lot,
suspect
Vito.
exactly. Some may be ignorant, but I suspect most believe themselves honorary whites. Yep,
Absolutely.
facts. All facts.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And thank you for the
Absolutely.
donation.
Anything is better than being black, even if that means you got to be the old beat down dog in the basement, coon like motherfucking Lee Daniels, because that's what he is to white folks, just an old dog.
And
This is
like,
interesting.
go
No, go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh no, I
Okay.
can say one of the things you said in the first stream you did with me, we were talking about how usually when you see black people in certain rooms or get in certain places, you just assume that they're compromised just to get into that room in the first place. Like they
Yep.
wouldn't even have made it into those high up rooms if they weren't already proven to be compromised.
I'm telling you, anybody who knows how these industries work, it's all about kissing ass. It's all about being the person. If you're black, it's all about really pushing white agendas. That's literally your job, and you have to be a certain type of Negro to let a lot of shit slide to work in the industry. I will tell you that too. You can't
Vita,
be.
Kenny. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
Well, say what you're gonna say. Now I'm scared.
Okay.
The way you
Well,
said it scared me.
okay. I have a theory. What if this happened, right? What do you guys think about this? What if he's doing all this stuff, right? Are you with me? Because he's a spook who sat by the door. So he's
Stop
doing
it.
this cool
Stop
stuff.
it. Stop
And
it.
he's trying to tell us now. He's gonna come out and say, yo, all that cool stuff I was doing to get up here, not a real Lee Daniels is coming out. Maybe that's what he's trying to tell us. And this spook who sat by the door is gonna be the shit. And he's just that good a spook who sat by the door.
Nah,
you don't think
he don't have the integrity to do something like that. That takes way too much integrity to do something like that.
You just not gonna convince me that coon and the shit that he does and says is on the down low for us. I just
you don't think he's acting like he's just that good an actor?
he's definitely not. He's that shit he says comes from the depth of his soul because this shit's just in him. Because he just spouts it. Look at how easily he said, "I thought I was at the welfare office." Look at how easily that just flowed right off the tongue. That's because that shit is in him. That shit is embedded in his DNA.
Yeah, not. I'm just trolling. I don't believe it. So.
Oh, we know. But you gave me an opportunity to rant about that. That fucking coon.
What the fuck?
And I see people people talking about, I'm excited because they like the spook who sat by the door, but they don't know Lee Daniels is a coon. So people are excited, like, oh wow, spook sat by the door. But I have to always remind people, whenever you see things that are genuinely revolutionary being pushed and promoted by big major companies, they're going to water it down. Like that's just going to be the case. So don't get too excited about shit like that. What they're not going to do is empower you niggas. So let's get that out the way. Like people who are,
let's get that straight. They ain't about to fire your ass to no Hollywood.
It's like people who get mad at the Black Panther movie, right? And then don't get me wrong, I thought clearly what they were doing was demonizing the idea of revolution. Very much clear. However, Disney was not about to empower you niggas. So what would you expect they was going to do? They wanted you to be happy about Wakanda. They was not trying to have you think, damn, we should start, taking over this shit. They're not trying to have you thinking that. That's not their goal, to empower you. They want you to feel good so you can buy more Black Panther shit. So just remembering that the goal is always, always to somehow make money off of you, not to empower you. So don't be getting mad at that shit. That's just what they do. This is it. They're not here to empower you. They're going to get the niggas that's going to make sure that you stay disempowered. That's what they're going to hire. This is going to make these films. And when you get excited about it, we just happy to see niggas on TV and in the movies. You like to see niggas get money. You love that shit. Oh, we get money. Love it. And I get excited too. I love seeing my Black people succeed. We get happy about it. But we got to remember, some of these people are in those positions because they were the right type of nigga to push the agenda of white supremacy, period.
Yeah, because one of the things about white supremacy is that it's so wicked. Like they want to get a Lee Daniels because the stuff that he's gonna say, he's gonna say some wild shit. But then you got other Black people that are gonna play into these games too, and what they know how to do, like Lena Waithe is, they're not gonna just come out and just be wild like him, but the images that they project are gonna show you in a certain light. And the system of white supremacy wants you to be like an old dog. They want you to be beat down, raped, all that kind of stuff, and then we can just make that into a movie and say, "Oh, look how bad it is." Well, there's never a solution to it. There's never an ending. You know what I'm saying? It's like even watching the Fred Hampton movie. At the end of the day, I'm like, okay, so what did I just watch? You know what I mean? How did this? And then he wins the Oscar for it. More power to that brother. But at the end of the day, when I watched that movie, I can remember him having maybe 15 scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
now we're seeing that this is what they're doing. What they're doing is they're just going to give you the images. They're not going to give you anything for you to eat on. There's no protein in this. There's nothing in this that's additive. You know what I mean? But they're going to keep doing it over and over and over.
Facts. So that's super facts. The goal is to make you feel good so you buy more shit and spend more money. Just want you to feel good. That's it. It ain't about empowering you. It ain't about helping you think differently or critically think. It ain't about none of that shit.
Think about this. they hate Colin Kaepernick. Why do they hate Colin Kaepernick? Because he don't say shit. He don't say nothing. But these people, they love these people because they don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But what are they saying the whole time? Nothing.
Yep.
They're saying absolutely nothing. The Negro that don't say much, that's working behind the scenes, that's a threat. The Negro that keeps running his fucking mouth and he's on every goddamn channel, they ain't no damn threat. He's just clogging up the TV airtime. You know what I'm saying? So then he'll get all the promotion, he'll get all the perks and the awards and all of that, but it won't lead to anything.
And you have to remember, the people who run their mouth, they go on these interviews and they everywhere they've got something to say. What's happening is a lot of those media publications or outlets, whether it's TV, whatever, they're using that to brand themselves.
Yes.
So this is how they can look like a progressive program or show or publication or whatever by having this Negro that talk black shit on their shit. So now they're using that for their brand. So you have a brand, they have a brand. And what that does is like, okay, look, we're the empowerment, or we're the black show. We love our Negroes. We're good to our Negroes. Look at it. You know, that's pretty much what it is. They probably don't even hire a Negro on that show. But guess what? They got your black ass sitting up there grinning, talking about how hard it is for Negroes. And you excited because you get to talk and run your mouth. And at the end of the day, all they're doing is, again, making money off of real black issues.
Yo, in the Champagne Sharks Discord, I was gonna end it on this, unless you guys have something else you want to say. But someone showed me something I wanted to do was start streaming video games on Twitch sometimes, because I wanted to try to take up some video games as a hobby. I'm on the fence about if I should try it. And someone showed me this real game that's being sold for the computer for $1.99 on Steam. Steam is like the App Store, but for computer games.
Yeah.
So you can download games, and I guess they let people upload their own games. And someone sent this. This is a trailer for the game. It's called Cuckold, and this thing I think shows where a lot of white guys' head is at, that you would even make this game. So the white guy comes home to a black baby, and he's got to chase the black baby around. So he's just a cuckold. He comes home.
Wow. See, how do you find this stuff, man?
I just told you, people send it to the Discord.
The question is, how does the person in Discord find it? Hey, bitch, turn on the TV for me. I forgot to do it before I sat down.
So basically, his so-called black kids are pushing him around, and it's like there is like a weird humiliation fetish that a lot of these white guys have, where they just want to see themselves as like racially debased. But he's got like, this is for a white guy with a weird sexual fixation on black guys. You know what I mean? And they make songs like this, like, you know, like I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? And all those things are Radiohead, like Creep. Like I mean, even before this cuckold trend, like they just like songs that tell them that they're worthless and debased.
Either you're boring and ugly and broke.
This is him going to his job, the wage kid. So it's not even like a fun escapist game. Like you're playing a game where you're getting your ass kicked, you're being disrespected at work. Like, instead of playing the game to escape into like a fun fantasy, they play the game to just beat themselves up more.
What?
That's some wild shit.
And then that's the end of the trailer, Cuckold Simulator. So you just, yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood this. I remember this is the case also in this Jim Carrey movie. I can't think of what it's called. But what is this thing where whenever they have a white guy who's with a white woman who cheats with the black guy, the kids always come out black. They never look
never
mixed.
biracial. They just look
They
like
never look mixed. They always look like straight up black, which makes me
it's,
think that they feel like mixed people are just like they just look black. Like
exactly. It's that one drop rule. You might as well be black. So why not just depict them that way?
what's the name of that movie? It's with Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. The one where
With his wife
me,
cheats with
myself, and Irene. Me,
yes,
myself, and Irene.
right. His wife cheats with like a small person. The black guy who was like the small person in like every movie.
Yeah, and the kids were just straight up black. Yeah, they weren't even like remotely biracial and stuff.
Not even.
Probable cause. I wasn't joking. Like I was joking about streaming that game, but no, I really was thinking about playing games on Twitch. I think that's why people started sharing with me funny games. I think that's what people want to see me see me cover on Twitch. But no, I wasn't.
Play The Sims. I can get on there. Yeah,
I'm down to do The Sims. There was a game called Among Us that I heard was fun. I never tried it.
People told me, but I didn't get it, so I just turned that shit off. My home goes, you would love it. I didn't understand it.
I never tried it.
I don't have a lot of patience for things that I don't understand right off the bat. So
yeah, I was taking suggestions, and that was one of them. but I don't think
definitely.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play that one, but I'm still trying to figure out.
No cuckold game for you, T?
No, unless one of you guys joins me, I'm not gonna sit there by myself and play the cuckold simulator. I mean, it'll probably be funny to do commentary on what kind of mind produces this.
I definitely would watch you play if that's what you want. I will come on and stream with you and watch you play.
Yeah, if you guys come on just to do commentary, and we play for the first time and see what comes out, that'll be interesting. I'm sure the game is like 15 minutes to play. I doubt this person put a lot of time. Can you imagine it's like hours and hours of humiliation?
Yeah, that's insane.
That's gonna lead to some white dude going and shooting up some shit, man.
Yo, totally. I was thinking that too. Like that's the mindset that leads to people shooting stuff.
But it does give me an idea of why white guys hate black men so much. Like they really feel like black men are a threat to them and their masculinity. Clearly,
yes. And T knows this, in the world of boxing, it's the same way when it comes to Latino men and black men. So there's something about the fact that a black man possibly could whoop your ass, has a lot more money than you, and could fuck your bitch. That's a real thing. That's in the boxing world. Now, in the real world, different.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, though. And that probably translates in some way to the real world, even.
Absolutely.
Pencil Door said, do white Americans, the racist ones, really use the concept of mixed people? I feel like it's mostly a black thing and a rhetorical point. Black people and, well, I don't want to say just black people, because a lot of Latinos, Asians are very similar. They will pretty much claim them as the non-white side. White people will always see them as the other side, whatever.
They're always going to be black, no matter what.
They will always be black kids. They will always be black people. Liberal whites say biracial or multiracial, so that's their word. All white, because you said the racist ones, and I think all white Americans are racist. But so even to the liberal ones, they just do it differently. They like to use terms like biracial, even if you tell them you're black. I can't tell you how many times my friends who are biracial told them, don't call me biracial, and they will still call me biracial. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's gotten kind of interesting now because on black social media now, they've become obsessed with the topic, are biracial people black? And every single day on Clubhouse for a while, multiple times a day, there would be the our biracial people black room, and it would be like 8 hours a day. I'm like, okay, at a certain point, pick an answer and just go with it. But why do y'all talk about this 8 hours a day?
Because
but yeah,
you know what? When people, I never go into those rooms, and I'm not on Clubhouse no more, so I don't know what the fuck they talk about now. But I know where that comes from, and a lot of times that's an inferiority complex because of what people see and imagine in their own mind of what their beauty standards are. So when they see a light-skinned woman, they believe that's she looks better than me.
Well, society says she looks
because she's light-skinned. That girl could be a fucking duck, but she's light-skinned, so that means she's gonna get more privilege than me. So how about this? Let's just not call them black, and I ain't gotta worry about them no more. You know how fucking stupid that is?
Yeah. Also,
you have to be out of your fucking mind to even let your mind go there to begin with.
Well, there are clearly
So-
other minds. But also, I didn't even know this was a real conversation. So people always say, like, online, like, oh, people say biracial people aren't black, or people tell me all the time I'm not black, I'm not black enough. And I'm like, I've never seen that in real life, ever, never.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in real life either.
Never even heard that in real life. I've only heard it on social media.
Well, for one, maybe because I didn't know any mixed people or biracial people outside of black neighborhoods. Because in black neighborhoods, biracial people were considered black. Even if they were black and Mexican, they were considered black. The only way you wouldn't consider them black, in fact, the person might not even consider themselves black, and black people will consider them black. You know, like they'll argue with you about how, no, you black, shut the fuck up, you black, you know? So I don't understand where this conversation online came from. Like, is this regional? So I can tell you in LA, if you was, all black people pretty much stayed together, and if you was mixed and black, you were pretty much considered black. Like, nobody considered.
I think it could be. I think a lot of it could be regional, but I think also a lot of it is there are people that are just online that have a lot of fucking problems
And time on their hands.
That too, which is the worst. That's like having a lighter in one hand and a match in the other.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you got a lot of time on your hands. You got a lot of mental things going on that you won't get fixed. And even T is one that said it. Their therapy is Twitter.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
also I think it is regional, but the region is the internet. The internet's its own region. You could live in LA, but if you're on social media more than you're outside your house, do you live in LA or do you live on the internet?
You live on the internet because
yeah,
you have
that's
what
your region.
they've done is they've found a certain circle of people, and we've seen this. Like, you know, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but I know you guys know this, and I know T, you do this because you do research. You can sit back from afar and look at motherfuckers and see who they're around, and you can see that they have the same circular conversations every single day. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about real life. They only care about their own reality. And I found other people that live the same reality as them or their perceived reality. And they just have this, they never figure out what the solution is to be. Because even asking, are light-skinned people or biracial people really black people, that ain't a fucking solution.
Yeah. It's
a stupid conversation to have amongst other stupid-ass, grown-ass people.
Even with the music, when I was looking at the music, I was like, "Wow, there's a whole different world of new music out there." That I thought I was watching what young people were into from Twitter, and I was seeing something, but now I realize online is its own freaking world, really.
The whole other world.
PB just said it's all about fuckability, and I'm gonna tell you right now that has a lot to do with it. So the people that you feel like you don't have access to, you're gonna want to get rid of them.
You know what I find to be really interesting, also in a lot of those conversations, is that whenever black women who get upset with other black women who don't hate black men, they always dwindle it down to the black woman just wants penis. That's why she's defending that black man, which is pure projection. How do I know that? Because notice that they never, ever, ever say, you're saying that because you have a black son.
No,
or because
they
you have
never
a
gonna say
black
that.
brother, or because you were raised by your father. Like, that's never the statement. They always reduce it down to you only care about black men because you want sex from black men.
Yes.
And I'm not on here craving sex for black men, and that's why they hate me. But that's the opposite. You are craving sex from black men, and you're trying to say nobody, like, look at this. They sit there and tell dark-skinned black women who defend black men, they tell them that no, black men don't really love you. They're just using you. That you're ugly to them. You're ratchet to them. You're this, but you're the one saying it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they get mad at you if you have self-confidence.
Yourself.
Yeah, if you have self-confidence and you're dark skinned, they get mad at you.
And this is something historically, you know, we used to have these round and round conversations about this stuff on Twitter. And Golden Rule, thanks for the donation. He said Frederick Douglass was biracial. His father was a white man. He was a slave. Booker T. Washington was also biracial. So mixing with the biracial designation is crazy. And you know what it is crazy? Because I've said that for years. If you guys don't want biracial people around, well, then you don't want Malcolm because Malcolm's mom is biracial.
What's funny is a lot of black people throughout history that we call black.
They're biracial.
Yeah, or they're not even biracial, maybe a quarter black, because they at the time
Plessy,
the rule was you were black.
Homer Plessy looked like a white man.
There we go.
Homer Plessy looked like a white man. Farad Muhammad looked like a white man.
And there's a lot of that, right? So it's interesting that all of a sudden, like, black people I'm sorry, biracial people or mixed people all of a sudden somehow aren't black. Like that's crazy to me. Now if
Yeah.
they cooning and they say they're not black, fine, fuck them. They don't gotta be
Oh
black.
yeah, agreed there. Like I don't want to force blackness on anybody who doesn't want it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
But
And that's the thing is like, they used to show, if you ever look at pictures of Frederick Douglass, it's always black and white. Frederick
yeah,
Douglass is lighter than me.
you want to know something interesting with a lot of this biracial stuff too. There's a new talking point, and this is internet. They just make up talking points like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the new one is that biracial people, who have a black mother and a white father are
Oh God.
woke and writers, but biracial people with a black father and white mother are coons and anti-black and all this stuff, and they don't put any proof behind it. They just
Yeah, but you know what the root reason of that is, because a black man is with a white woman. That's the root of all of
That's
that.
literally all it
yeah.
is.
That's all that is. It's
And it's
always
their way of
broken down to
championing
sexual
their
access.
it is also a way to champion their swirling.
Exactly.
It's really all it is.
Yeah. So like they want to make a difference between the two types of swirling. So yeah, it's
Oh, but it's
interesting.
different with us because we're doing it. We're making sure we raise our daughters and sons to not be coons. But isn't there like some politician with this weird half-white son who be cooning all the time?
Susan Rice.
There
Susan
we
Rice
go.
has like
Yeah, her.
he's like practically like alt right. That dude. He's not even
Yeah.
just cooning.
Not,
He's like
not
full
just
on
that,
alt
but
right.
what's the name? Crystal Kerosine's black daughter. She's a fucking mess.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's not woke at all. She's the
She's
opposite.
a
She's her.
complete mess.
So
Herschel
She's a.
Walker's son. He's a complete mess.
I mean, this is the thing, and anybody who is being raised by a white person is going to have white stuff instilled in them. That's just the case.
Yeah.
No matter what race you are.
It don't even exactly. If you're being raised by a white person, you're gonna have white shit instilled in you. That's just what it is. And it's funny because a lot of even my friends who I know who have a white parent, they pretty much tell you that that they have to work through a lot of shit. Because hell, I had one girl. She wasn't even half black, half white. She was half no, she was she even mixed. She was mixed. She was Guatemalan, but she was light skinned. And she was saying like really really light. And so she was saying how she even like in her family because they're like privileged Guatemalans, they're light skinned and shit.
Mhm.
She had to teach herself to not be racist or discriminatory towards dark skinned poor Guatemalans. Had to
Oh, I'm
teach
sure.
herself because she said she would catch herself and she would be doing something. She like for example, she saw a Latino guy who brown skin Latino guy doing something with his bike, and her first thought was, "I stop him from stealing that bike."
Oh.
Then she said when she started realizing that that was in her, and she never would have called herself a racist or anything like that, but she realized she was at that point, because if she said that about dark skinned Mexican, you would have said it about niggas,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of black people go through that here too, man. You see it. You see it, man. Some of the stuff people say and do, you're like, for real. Um, I'm going to go to bed because it's 12:30, but
Oh, it is late.
I don't want to stop you guys if you want to stay on. So it's up to you.
Well, I would actually like to drive back to real LA and get out of the fucking
Oh yeah,
noise.
because you're at the WeWork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scumbag Hollywood.
Yeah, and actually, we should probably keep it less than 3 hours anyway, just because
Stuff for all those needles and stuff to leave Hollywood.
What did you say?
You say talk about the needles in Hollywood. You got to avoid the
You got
needles.
stuff over all those syringes in Hollywood.
Oh, so this is the thing. I'm in North Hollywood right now. Let me tell you something about this. This like the craziest amount of homelessness I've ever. It's like insane. It South Central's bad too, but North Hollywood is like wild. Like just you can't go anywhere. It's literally everywhere. Homelessness, and not just homelessness. You're talking about people who need help mentally or need medical help, and they're not getting it, and they're just out here with no help, and they're just putting themselves and other people in danger, and there's no resources for them. Because a lot of places, especially when COVID hit, they didn't have the space, and they weren't housing as many people in some of those spaces, and they weren't getting as much care from a lot of those organizations because they were at capacity or whatever. Because a lot of people had COVID that were homeless, so it ended up being a big issue. So now we're just seeing like it's really bad. Just the homelessness in LA is like some of the worst in the country. Thank you so much for all the donations, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you, Winfield, for your donation of $4.99. He says, so our people won't be escaping mental slavery anytime soon. Online isn't real, but it does reflect people's psychology. Yes, to some degree. To some
Yeah,
degree, definitely.
and I have a depressing thought, honestly. I don't think online is real yet, but I think it's becoming reality generationally.
Real. It's getting real.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting real as more and more of us age out or retire or whatever. We're gonna have a whole generation of people who raised on the internet, and I think that's when online is going to be really real. But I think as of yet, you can still escape online in the real world, and we have to enjoy it while we can. I'm seeing online creeping into the real world where like I'll be like at a someplace and I'll hear someone talk about like misogynoir and I'll turn around like, did I just hear that in the real world? Or I'll hear someone say like hotep and I'm like, what? And
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's starting to creep in and I'm
That's
like,
real though.
yeah, enjoy it while you can because it's going to creep into the real world more and more. I think online is not the real world until one day we wake up and it just is realer than the real world.
You know what you do? You know what you do? Because this will make people look crazy. You play dumb. When they say stuff that you know is on the internet, you just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they'll literally just look at you like, oh shit. Because people that are online that much, they really believe everybody's online.
Yep. You gotta. So this is a great point, Professor Crunk's students. And you know what's funny about that? I went to Professor Crunk's Rate My Professor, right? And people were saying that they were giving her bad votes because they were like, this bitch just talks about her online beefs in the class. And we're like, we don't care. It's like,
serious?
Yeah.
Like, bitch, we can read that on our own. We don't need you telling us.
Yeah.
I wanted to say thank you for that statement, Pensive of Door. I hope y'all know that you've affected way more people's lives than you'll ever know. Be blessed. I appreciate that. Because that's part of the reason why I love doing this, because I feel like it's important that we have these conversations and put new narratives and new stories and new concepts and perspectives out there. Otherwise, we'll be drowned with the same ones that are clearly not helpful, not progressive, and if anything, counterproductive and problematic. So thank you for
doing this
that.
because I'm trying to get my wings into heaven because I was so fucked up in a former life. I'm joking.
But you get up here and be fucked up, so whatever.
Yeah, and please listen to CS Taniguchi. Hey, how you doing? I've met CS in real life before. He's cool people. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. It takes nothing to just hit a like button. It takes 10 seconds. Even if you hate us, dislike us, just help us with that engagement. You know what I'm saying? So definitely do that. Thanks.
Shout out to I've Been Wrong Before. I love these streams. Vita keeps me centered. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I love you guys.
What the fuck were we then? Just chopped liver? I mean, goddamn.
This is what you get.
I'm a heathen forever. I'm a heathen. I'm a fucking heathen. I'm trying to earn my wings.
But thank you again, everybody. We appreciate you. We love doing this. We love talking to you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You can see in our ticker at the bottom how you can support. You can go to Venmo or CashApp at Champagne Sharks. You can go to PayPal. You can email us, champagnesharks@gmail.com. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/champagnesharks. Champagnesharks.com has all the links that you need, and you can find everything there. So make sure that you check that out, okay?
Yeah, and everyone's in a good mood tonight, man. Look at this. There's a lot of love. Usually people are cracking on us, but yeah, there's a lot of love tonight.
Are we still pushing the mask? We got masks. What's up with the
Oh yeah, if you go to champagnesharks.com, you can see the merchandise link and masks are on there. So if you want those COVID masks while you can, I mean the vaccines are hitting, but those variants are coming. No,
yeah, we'll get a Champagne Sharks COVID vaccine soon.
Yeah, exactly.
And please support. I'm in desperate need of a new laptop, guys. Like my phone, my laptop now just starts revving up.
You got a laptop like T.
Huh?
You got a laptop like T. But you know what? I almost wasn't able to record today because the sound of my laptop went dead because Probable Cause ass couldn't help me this weekend with my computer because I didn't have any sound.
Yeah.
You're frozen right now, even. Did you put a picture up or is it just frozen?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be frozen right now.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I like Probable Cause's suggestion. Start calling Vita, calling Vita and the Sharks.
You know what we do?
Since they're the ones who got like this was their show and they brought me in, that would be some foul shit.
Well, no. What about this? Let's set a donation level, and if people will hit the donation level, put your money where your mouth is. We will rename the show. We will. Everything's for sale this day, man. Just at a big donation level,
A few thousand, we might change the name.
Yeah.
If we can each walk away with a couple G's.
Sure. I was gonna aim high because a lot of dudes are sleeping for Vita. I was gonna go for like 50 G's. I was gonna go
50 G's. Oh
yeah,
wow.
I think you're worth that. I'm not trying to pimp Vita, but I think Vita could get 50 G's.
Well,
people love Vita.
I appreciate all of you. I really do. They said letting Vita Simps rename the show.
That's gonna be a subscription tier for the patron. We're gonna put that on there.
Zoom date with me.
If we got to auction you off, it costs a little bit of donation. Now, come on now, baby. Come on now. No, it ain't not free.
He said, "Name your price."
We can do like a telethon, like the fucking Jerry Lewis shit back in the day.
Yeah, Vita doesn't know her value, man. I mean, Vita's talking about a couple of G's, and I'm thinking like 50, 100.
Yeah, man, fuck. You guys got money. You guys all got PPP loans. All y'all got a COVID check. Let's get that paper popping, baby.
You know what I'm saying? They say they love me, but when I'm on here by myself, we have like not a lot of people come on. Unless you guys are on with me, and there's never a lot of like as big of a turnout as you do with each other. When I'm by myself, I never have a big turnout. You always have a big turnout, always.
No, but I announce it in the Discord and on the Twitter ahead of time to get people. So yeah. If you just let me know ahead of time, I will and set the link. I'll put the link up ahead of time.
Oh, okay, that's your secret. You actually do promotion work.
yeah, that definitely helps a lot. When I don't do that, it's like a lot lower.
Well, I mean, we're streaming for 4 hours on Saturday, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one. A lot of people saw it in the rewatch. A lot of people are saying they like that one.
Yeah, we were talking shit for quite a while, and we got to some serious stuff later. But we were really just talking shit about football, whatever.
Yeah, but people like that one for sure. Thanks to Sweet James for that one.
Yeah,
live fun stuff would be cool. More live fun stuff.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I said more live fun stuff would be really cool.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, man, what's up with your boy? We gotta get your boy on. Well, first of all, we need to get Ntume back on. One.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Ntume in a minute, and then your dude that plays for the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
Jackson?
Oh yeah. Let me see what's up with him. I'll check out for sure. Yeah, that'll be a good one, especially now with the season coming up. Yeah,
I think Probable Cause when it comes to our chat to talk shit to us.
That motherfucker was drunk on Saturday. He knows everything about computers, but couldn't help me do shit. That's something.
Yeah. Kenny knows Probable Cause in real life.
Yeah, I know him in real life. Yeah, I know his whole family.
You know something? I've been promising this for a while, and I'm gonna stop stalling on it. I figured out how to do it, the call-in. So we're gonna do that. We're definitely gonna do the call-in. I figured out the logistics on how to do it. So yeah, that is not a problem. All right, guys, take care. Be good, and we will talk to y'all soon.
Peace.